Hi, guys. Hello, all our spooky friends out there, and welcome to another Storytime episode of the Scariest Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace, and this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And we're here to read you some spooky stories today.
Super excited. These are some of the favorite things that we get to do throughout the week. I think it's either my favorite or my second favorite, depending on how good our episode was on Sunday. But yeah, our homegrown horror. Oh man, this is just a rough start for me. That's okay. I'm just going to keep powering through. So our Storytime episodes are where we read homegrown horrors that you wonderful listeners or viewers have submitted to us. And those homegrown horrors are like paranormal or spiritual or just weird coincidence experiences or funny stuff that's happened to you folks that you decided you wanted to share with us. And if you have one of those experiences that you want to reach out to us with, email storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Message us if you would like. If you want to post for some instant feedback, join the Facebook group, which is the Scariest Spooky Friends group. Post it there. We'll chat with you about it. It'll be a fun time. If you want to go to Discord, if you know what Discord is, or if you want to learn what Discord is, best way to do that, scarish.com. On the right-hand side, if you scroll down, there'll be a spot that says, join us on Discord, and that'll take care of it for you. You don't have to download an app. If you're on like a desktop computer, you can use like a window, I think, still, so that's cool. And if you want to tweet at us, @ScarishPod. If you want to message us on Instagram, @ScarishPodcast. Those are the best ways to reach out to us. But
It's a lot to say.
you can also watch these episodes recorded live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is what all the fine folks in Twitch and YouTube are doing at this very moment. I want to say hello and thank you for joining us again to everyone that's out there. So
Hello.
do we want to do a little bit of interaction before we get started, or we want to just go ahead and jump into the first story?
Because I just started up Twitch, so it's all you.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'm going to look over here and see what some of you fine folks had to say. It's mostly just hellos and highs. I missed my Bim Bam in Austin today because of stupid stuff, but it's okay, and I am here and happy. Glitch, that sucks. I'd be super pissed. So I'm glad you're with us, though, so you get to see at least one podcast. And just think that this is a special live show specifically for you, and it won't feel that bad. Or maybe my Bim Bam sucked. You don't know. You could have friends that went to see my brother, and me, and they just had a horrible off night, terrible show. That's what we have like every night. So, you know, it happens to the best of us. So maybe it happened to them and it was like not worth your money. So my brother and me is an advice podcast. It's been around for a long time. For those of you who don't know, essentially they go to Yahoo questions and they just take like the most ridiculous questions ever and like give their answers. And some of them are just so bafflingly stupid that it's just hysterical.
I can't handle the Yahoo questions where it's like, how do I know if I could be pregnant?
Yeah, those ones are so funny.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
There was one thing they had on there for one episode, and it was like, this thing happened at my work, and I didn't know how to react. As like a retail assistant, he worked at like a seafood market, and some kid walked in and saw like all the stuff they had in the counter, and turned to his mom and screamed like, "Shrimp, heaven, now!" And like the mom was like, "We can't keep doing this," and burst out into tears. And it was like the funniest thing I've ever heard on a podcast before, because the brothers, they could not hold their shit together. It's three brothers that do that podcast. So let's just say that they had an off night tonight, and it was okay that you missed it. So
what if they didn't? What if they had a great night and you're just slandering them now?
I'm not. I'm trying to make Glitch feel better, but way to make Glitch feel like shit. So awesome. Good stuff, Robin. So did you want to go first with the first story, or do you want me to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I can go first. I already pulled my stuff up.
All right,
so
cool.
This one goes, hi, Adam and Robin.
Hello.
Hello. This is Cheyenne, and I have sent a story to you before over Facebook. The one when my grandpa talked to me when I was a toddler, and it freaked my mom out. I have a few more stories if you want them. By the way, I forgot to mention that you can put all of them on the podcast, even the first one.
Good to know.
I'm sure we've already read the first one.
We have. I remember that. So it's good to know that we didn't mess up that time. So.
And, okay, so this one is titled Malabar Farm. There's a really cool farm near Mansfield, Ohio called Malabar Farm. I used to live near there and would go to the various activities they hold there now. One of the activities is a Halloween tour of the farm. I love Halloween.
Halloween is so much fun. We're going into Christmas, and I'm realizing as a broke adult, it is far less fun than when you have actual money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's usually like my favorite thing. But right now, like, I think I'm going to get everyone like $10 gift cards, and I feel a little crappy about it. So
it went from $20 to $10 now.
Yeah, from dinner to walking up here and getting everything ready, it's gone down that far. I'm looking at our November donation goal, and I'm like, yep, $10 gift cards for everyone. Never mind.
They hold a play of a true murder story. Oh, that's so cool. And talk about all the ghosts still there. It's really cool to hear the story of the place. After the play, they do other things related to that story. Then they let people tour the old mansion on the property. This mansion is also haunted. After I saw my grandpa, I still had a sense for people on the other side years later. I couldn't see them, but I could feel them. My family's been to this farm for the Halloween activity a few times because it never really gets old. One of the times, we were about to leave, and my uncle was taking pictures trying to find a ghost.
I'm guessing spirit orbs or ghosts are going to pop up at some point.
Maybe.
I'm
or
nervous.
They actually see something, but they can't take a picture of it, but they see it.
Do you think at the end of this email it's going to be like, nothing was there, but it sure was fun. Anyways, have a good day.
Oh my God, shut up. He asked to pick a spot to shoot next, and I stared at the mansion for a second and told him to take a picture of one of the windows. We didn't see anything at first, and my mom didn't believe me when I said that there was actually something there. My uncle decided to humor me and really looked at the photo. After a minute of zooming, he found a face. Let's just say my mom never doubted me again.
Wow.
Another time we went, and I was upstairs in the bedroom of three girls that I used to live... Blah, blah, blah. The bedroom of three girls that used to live in the mansion.
Okay. I will say, I wish this picture was attached to this email, and I'm pretty sure it's not.
Oh.
So that's a bummer.
Yeah. They don't like to be bothered and tend to blur photos and drain batteries. I think all ghosts really like to do that.
Yeah, some
They're
of them
like,
are photogenic,
let me
though.
suck your energy.
Some of them, yeah, I could see that. But I feel like some of them just want to be in every single photo ever taken, so... That's why there's so many places where you're like, there's spirit orbs. Like, every time you go there,
it's
like whether or not it's like dust, like mites or whatever you call them floating through the air, or it's legit spirit orbs. Like, some places always have that.
It's that episode of Doctor Who where that guy is the conspiracy dude that just has a million pictures of Christopher Eccleston as a doctor. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's, he's a ghost. He just likes to be in all the photos.
You think the doctor's a ghost? That would be a very interesting twist to this season, which we haven't started
really
on. Don't talk about it in chat.
Don't talk. Yep. No spoilers. Well, I was using my phone as a flashlight, and it was pretty well charged. They drained my battery. I was in complete darkness. I wasn't scared. I was more pissed that they killed my light. Luckily, my boyfriend was walking around with me, and he let me have his phone to take lead with the light. Either way, I know Ohio is a ways away from where you are, but if you are ever near there and around Halloween, I really think Adam would enjoy it. Robin will probably be really freaked out. Yeah.
She enjoys a lot of Halloween stuff,
I love Halloween
though.
activities. I don't like haunted houses. I hate them. But hay rides and stuff, that might be cool.
That's why I would like to trick her into like a bed and breakfast or someplace that you can go visit, and then once you get in, they're like, JK, this is a haunted house, and then she'll be like, damn it, let's go to sleep.
Yeah, no haunted houses. I'm good. Let's see. And then the second story is Stanley Hotel. It's titled Stanley Hotel. And it goes, my family went to the Stanley Hotel for a tour one year after we went to Sturgis for my mom's wedding. This story won't be long, but I took a picture there, and I didn't notice until I left, but there was a white blob in the left window on the side of the building. I was taking pictures everywhere, and this is the only spot I got with something in it. I don't know what it is with me and windows.
That's hilarious.
And that's the end of the email.
It's a good email.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne.
I like that it didn't really speculate too much on what it was. It just told us exactly what was in the pictures.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I wish we had the pictures. I wish we could see that. I know sometimes it's hard to like find a picture that you took when you were a kid or younger and try and like scan it into an email and then send it along. But if anyone has access, those are always much more fun to see. So we can. It's like we can participate in it with you.
We have been to Ohio, though.
We have.
Sure.
I've been to Ohio a lot in my life growing up in Northwest
that,
Indiana.
That
so.
Amish place.
That's not in Ohio. That's
okay,
in Indiana.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We drove from Ohio to Essen House.
Essen or Essex? I forget which.
Essex House? Essen House? I don't know. It was
There's
amazing.
some Amish person breaking the rules right now, listening to the podcast on the cell phone they're not supposed to have.
I just love that
Like, I can't believe they got this wrong, and they're churning butter angrily.
Yeah. Dude, Amish peanut butter, fuck, so good. But yeah, no, we've been out that way.
It's
so.
not completely out of the realm of possibility that we head back there around that time at one point, because we have a lot of friends back there, and a lot of them like to get married. Especially next year, there's going to be a lot. There's a gaggle of weddings, I think is what you call it.
I refuse to go to all of them.
There's going to be a gaggle of weddings, and hopefully at some point in the future there won't be like a murder of divorces. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. But
murder of divorces.
I figure it's the best thing to call it. But no, yeah, we'll be back there at some point, and maybe it'll be in the fall. I really want Robin to see, because there's so much greenery back home. Like, I want her to see what happens when all of it starts to change color.
Yeah.
Because it's the prettiest thing in the world, and it's letting you know.
Texas has the same thing.
Does it?
Trees turn colors.
I don't know. Never been to Texas. I mean, I've been there, but only for like a couple days. So I would love to go to Texas. So that'd be super awesome. But yeah, maybe we can pop by Ohio on the way. It's only like 28 hours away. So awesome. Let's move over into Stream Chat and see what you folks had to say for the first story.
La, la, la. Ori says for Mabim Bam or whatever, their crowds can be a bit much. I can totally see that.
They're so popular now that I just imagine that going to see an Adventure Zone show especially would be a little bit difficult. Because, like, if you ever played D&D, there's always one person who's, like, the rules Nazi, so to speak, who's going to, like, correct you on everything you do. And I think once they started getting popular, so many of the people that listened to their show decided that they had to email in and tell them every time they were doing something wrong. So I can imagine being in a theater full of, like, nerds and being dressed up. Like, I would totally cosplay if I went to go see one of their shows, and just hearing people, like, scoff under their breath when they do something wrong. And it's like the whole premise of that show is they're people learning to play D&D, and people just yell at them. So I can't imagine what Mabim Bam is like either.
Let's see.
Aw.
Everyone's saying hi. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Glitch Grim says, I am happier to be here.
We are glad you're here.
And it's free.
He also says that we have less summer, Robin, and there is less summer. When I used to live there, though, when it turned to winter, the leaves did, like, fall down, like, change color and fall off the trees and stuff.
Our neighborhood actually is having that.
And where I lived, it did snow, but it was, like, an inch of snow.
Yeah, where I lived, it snowed a lot. So that's how you knew you had to leave. Because, like,
I could go outside in shorts. I literally probably have pictures somewhere of me in shorts and, like, little striped socks walking out in the snow and just sitting in leaves and stuff.
Wow. That must be nice. My pictures are mostly of us in the snow, and they're really hard to make out because it's very, very bleak. Mothboy Real Estate, yes, Shrimp Heaven Now is great. It's a great episode. It's so damn funny. It never comes to Spotify until late Tuesday or Friday for me.
For Mabim Bam.
For Mabim Bam?
Those episodes, yeah.
Spotify's weird. Spotify's delayed because, like, all of our episodes are scheduled to go out at 4 a.m. on the day it's supposed to release. So if it's coming out Tuesday, it's supposed to go out at 4 a.m. Same thing with Friday. And a lot of times on Spotify, it won't hit Spotify until, like, noon. So sometimes I just check Spotify and I'm like, there's nothing I can do. And then by then, some people have already listened to it somewhere else, so they're just going to wait to listen to it until the next day. So, like, our release numbers typically don't pick up until the day following when our episode released, which is annoying. But hey, I like that Spotify carries over your progress for whatever you're listening to between all your devices. Because I can listen to something on my computer, get in my car, and it's, like, at the spot I left it, which is super cool.
Seems like a lot of people want to go to the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah, I would love to go to the Stanley Hotel, but it's expensive. That's why we put it at the 100 patron thing. JB Watt says, hi, everyone. I say hello. Hello to you.
Miss Deasy says that she spoke to Ralph, and we need to get him for his stories. And I totally agree. He told us some of his stories when we were at BlizzCon, and we were just like, holy crap, because I was sitting there, and I was so scared. And there was a point where I had to go to the restroom, and I didn't want to go because I had to go by myself. And so I literally sped walked, did everything.
She was barely gone
fast.
From that table. I was like, and I knew how far away that bathroom was.
Yeah. And as soon as I was done, like, pulled up my stuff and just ran out of there so fast. I was just, oh my God.
I
so
was
scared.
pretty sure that you peed in the sink to make up for time. So looking over into YouTube, it looks like we had a countdown from one of the excited fans. It was Angel over there. Thank you for the countdown in the chat. That's always nice to see that you guys are enthusiastic about us going live.
Let's see. Why is everyone asking who would you cosplay?
I would cosplay Taco. No fucking doubt. I love Taco. He is my favorite character.
Taco?
Taco's the wizard, played by Justin McElroy. And he's hilarious. I don't want to spoil anything, but he falls in love with Death, who happens to be a dude. And it's worked in organically. They're not just like, we're going to make this character homosexual. They just like, it's the person he happens to fall in love with. And I absolutely fucking love that character. And it's super goddamn funny.
Okay.
That's who I would cosplay. It'd be amazing. So you'd have to go as Death. That would be hilarious.
Okay.
Who's named Kravitz, and he has a Cockney accent sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
It's such a good show.
That's horrible.
I wish you would watch it. I really think you'd love it.
Ghost Town Bodie. Where's Bodie? That sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard of that before.
I don't know. It does sound familiar though. Karen over on YouTube says, "I got some spoopy stuff, but I'm still a little baby child, and my parents won't let me have any social media." Well, once you get an email address, you can send us your stuff. So that's totally fine with us.
Oh gosh, there's so much taco. So much taco.
Karen says, I should be doing my homework, but I gotta get spooped first. Grades can wait. Don't let them wait too long. I pulled that shit way too much in my high school and college career, and it's just the worst thing ever.
Yes, Amber, I washed my hands. Okay.
I don't think she did. I think she just went
Shut
and came
up.
straight out of that bathroom.
He's dumb. I just don't look up at the mirror. If I do anything, I'll stare at the ground. I won't look at the mirror because I'm afraid something will be behind me. It freaks me out.
So I don't know if any of you have listened to the episode that came out Tuesday, but I made mention of the fact that our lights were flickering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
and then the loft ones started flickering last
so
night.
we now have 3 rooms in our house, and we've had the loft ones flicker before every now and then. The difference is last night the loft ones were flickering like on, off, on, off, on, off for like 30 seconds. So I'm convinced we've summoned something into this house. Which isn't a good thing, but it was nice enough to not flicker on and off our games, so we could keep playing Pokemon and Fallout. Which
I was like playing Fallout 76, and the lights were going on and off, and Adam was trying to get my attention, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
I was trying to point out to her, like, I'm not doing this. The remote's right next to you. Like, I'm not participating in these lights going on and off. And she's just like, I'm building a town. Fuck off.
It's more like a little house.
It looks like Erica has an essay that's due tomorrow, and if they don't turn it in, they fail the whole class. So I wonder how long the essay is and what the material is. I see someone else asked you what it's about. It's a case study on a child for a class called TAKA 1354 Child Growth and Development. It sounds hella boring, but hopefully you can get it done. Hopefully it's not that long.
That sounds really interesting. It actually sounds really familiar. But if it is like a 2-page double space, fucking fluff that.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be super easy. That sounds really weird. Fluff that? Don't fluff it. I don't know.
Jerk that thing off to get it ready for on camera. That's what Robin's telling you to do right now.
Okay, so do you want to go into your story?
Yes, I can. I'm still scrolling through some of this YouTube stuff. It didn't load at first, and then I got that worked out. Well, it's a lot of talking about the homework that's being avoided. It seems like.
Thank you so much, you guys, for liking this necklace. I love dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, and it's appropriate because last episode, Adam said something about the new Monopoly piece being a T-Rex, and it's perfect. I freaking love dinosaurs.
I honestly think I see something over from Swampy Boy on YouTube. It is more frightening to me that our electric is fucked in the house and not a ghost. I would prefer for it to be a ghost flicking our lights on and off.
Because electric
is expensive as fuck, and that's most likely what it is. But we'll find out at some point, so we'll see what happens with that. But I'm at the bottom of the YouTube stuff, so I will move on into my first one.
Cool.
So, all right. So my first one of the night has a subject of homegrown horror. So they know exactly what they're getting into at this one.
Okay.
So this one starts out, hey, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello. I love you guys so much.
Aw,
Thank you so much. I'm waiting because these are like 2.5 months behind. We've talked about that before. I'm waiting when we catch up to the point where the audience has decided they fucking hate us, but they're still going to send us their stories. They're like, hi, Robin and Adam. I guess you guys are okay. And then it eventually becomes like, hey, guys, read my story. I hate your faces. So,
Please don't be that way.
For now, they're really nice. And in 2.5 months, I'm sure we'll get a bunch of those. I listen to your podcast every day during study hall. You can share this on the podcast if you want. So some freaky things have happened to me during my stay with my grandparents, from dolls to basements, and then, of course, in parentheses, sorry, Robin, there's definitely something in their house that wants us gone. One day I found this old-looking doll while cleaning out stuff from the garage. The doll had a pink diamond ring, and being the stupid child I am, I took it and wore it. I'm sure nothing bad's going to happen here. They lived to send us this email. Maybe they've been stabbed to death by that doll at this point,
jewelry. I can't do weird vintage jewelry. It freaks me out. Like, I just feel like there's a spirit attached to them. I can't even.
It needs to be new and expensive. So Robin's just letting everyone know. The next morning, the doll was in my room, and its face had a fairly large crack in it. I decided to throw it out, in parentheses, obviously, and thank God I haven't seen it since. Wow, it sounds like you stole this ring off the doll, and then it fought its way into your room to try and get it back, and you're just like, I'm just going to throw you in the trash, which means humans win again. So humans won, haunted dolls 0. Good work.
And then Annabelle comes in and murders everyone.
This wasn't Annabelle. This doll was much weaker than Annabelle, as we could tell. A lot of creepy stuff has happened with the basement. It used to be a ballet practice room for little girls in the neighborhood. That sounds like Freddy Krueger's basement. Just a little insight on my neighborhood. Back in the day, oh my God.
What?
An old man raped and killed one of the little girls that went to the ballet practice room weekly.
That escalated so quickly.
Yeah, it really did. We have several vents around the house leading to the basement.
Oh, nope. Why?
One day I had just gotten home and I was the only one there.
Oh, I don't
I sat down to do homework and I heard laughing.
No.
I shook it off thinking it was just my mind playing tricks on me. I heard laughing again and I noped the flip out.
Yeah.
I went to my neighbor's house and just hung out until my grandma came home. I still have to go down there to do laundry, and I always sometimes hear someone's breathing
No.
and feel like I'm
What?
being watched.
Why?
I mean, that's where your
Why?
laundry is.
No.
Either you stink
No.
or you go into the haunted basement to do
No.
laundry.
That's why you put the laundry room on the second floor.
It's
like
not
a normal
easy for
person.
people to change their laundry room. And what happens if that room turns out to be haunted? You have to keep changing rooms because people keep dying. One last story I have.
I'm gonna stuff you in the washer in the 2
I
seconds.
hate you so much. One last story I have is one that has haunted me since I was little. I've always had this fear of Ronald McDonald. That's so fucking funny.
I legit, it's scary. He
Really?
looks scary. You don't think Ronald McDonald does?
I think clowns look scary. I think Ronald McDonald looks silly. I think he just looks silly.
He's
I don't think he looks
creepy.
scary.
Especially those when they have those figures, those statues sitting on the benches.
Those are creepy.
Those are so creepy.
Especially when they slowly turn their head to look at you when you're not paying attention. She's putting her
No.
hand in my face for the listeners.
Nope. No.
All right, I'm going to keep going. So I've always had this fear of Ronald McDonald, and my grandma loves robes that are oddly shaped like that damn clown. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I swear he would be standing in my doorway with a large smile waving at me.
Fuck?
I still have these occurrences to this day. I'm imagining these are the robes hanging on like a hook on the door.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of
Maybe.
makes sense. Or it is Ronald McDonald hunting you down. I'm more afraid of that fucking king from Burger King, because if you look in that guy's eyes, there's nothing good there.
I'm imagining my sister in the hall with a blanket over her head just saying, "It's me."
That's such a funny story. Have you told that on the podcast
I'm pretty
before?
sure I have.
Well, let's tell it again one more time
No,
for the
I
listeners.
don't want to. It's embarrassing.
Okay, fine. We won't tell Robin's embarrassing story for the listeners, who I'm sure right now are like, "Tell it, Robin, jeez." The email ends. Thank you guys so much. Keep being fabulous, Destiny. Thank you so much for sending that in,
thank you
Destiny.
so
Those are
much.
really good.
I hate clowns.
I hate
so-
clowns too, but I really think that I'm looking over and yep, a bunch of people are saying it. They want to hear Robin tell her story
How do
about
you
someone.
know?
I just know it's there. Stop trying to look at it. So go ahead and share with us what your story is about your sister standing in this
I'm
doorway.
sure you guys have heard this story before. I'm sure I've told it before. It was back when I used to live with my sister. I must have been like 23. I must have been like 23. No, 22. Younger than that. But I still slept with a stuffed bunny. It was the bunny from Oran High Host Club. Like, Honey has this cute little bunny he carries around. And I had that because I have problems, okay? And so I sleep with the door open. And one night, the bunny fell off the bed onto the floor. And I hear it thud to the floor, right? I'm reaching my hand down there to pick it up. And while I do that, I open my eyes, and there's a freaking dark figure standing in the hallway. This is like in the middle of the night.
So you see a
Like
silhouette
4
of
in
a
the morning or
person in the
something.
hallway.
Yeah, I see a silhouette, this big, huge, dark figure, and I grab my bunny first, okay?
I just see you like reaching and reaching and reaching while you're
yeah,
panicking.
while I'm staring at it, and I grab it, yank it up, and then hide under the blankets, and then all I hear is my sister going, "It's me."
So
like
she
I'm
walked
an
out of the bedroom
idiot.
with her blanket over her head like a cloak, though?
Yeah, she carries her blankets downstairs to sleep on the couch and watch TV.
And she threw it over her like the Grim Reaper and stood in your doorway late at night and
Yeah.
was like, "Why are you freaking out?"
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
And so that's my stupid, embarrassing story.
I think it's funny, and I don't think it's as embarrassing as you think. Lots of people
scary.
sleep with
I was
stuffed
so
animals.
scared. Okay,
so
I don't know.
it's a good story.
Anyway,
I appreciate it.
blah.
So let's take a break and look over to Stream Chat and see what you guys had to say on both of those stories, on the email I read, and then also on Robin's hilarious bunny rabbit story. So
All right.
let's scroll up. I said that people were starting to say it, and they hadn't started to say it yet. But then I look over and I see please from Karen, yes, tell it from Erica, Miss Deezy, yes, share. It's the Orange Tree, yes, over in YouTube. So there was a lot of people that wanted you to share that. So I was making it up at the time, and then everyone backed me up. You guys are the best.
Okay. So anyway, let's go to the chat. Mothboy says, when I was hella little, I went to Bodie. Pretty spooky afterwards in the motel. The day after, I saw a shadow figure when I woke up, but it was a white shadow. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So more like a white misty figure, maybe?
Sure.
Kind of, sort of. Or like a light.
I don't know. Let's stop speculating.
Okay. Lots of Red Dead Redemption. Beep, boop, boop, bah.
Ulri over in Twitch chat says, y'all haunted, referring to our lights flickering. Pave Paradise says, nope, time to move. LOL. Let's hope that's not the case, because we're kind of settled here a little bit.
I mean,
Wow, that's a lot of dead air. She goes, I mean, and then it's just silence in my ears, the traffic in the background.
I'm just saying, if it were haunted, I'd book it.
If we knew it was haunted, then I'd leave. But I don't think it is. I think it's just bad wiring. Itzy over in YouTube says, does anyone remember the SpongeBob episode where they flicker the lights on and off? Who was it? I did not watch SpongeBob, but maybe you know.
SpongeBob episode where they flick the lights on. Oh, Nosferatu? It's Nosferatu because someone's flicking the lights on and off, and then I think SpongeBob just goes Nosferatu. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's who it was.
Okay, so fascinating stuff.
Sorry.
SpongeBob again with the really deep, like, existential stuff.
I totally messaged my sister the question, when's the best time to wear a striped sweater? And she sends me a gif of SpongeBob singing the song.
It's a song?
Yeah, the best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time.
I hate this show and I've never seen it.
It's such a good... I love SpongeBob.
Erica says that her essay is supposed to be 1,000 words, but the professor doesn't care as long as it's good quality, and she usually does 3 to 4 pages. Right on. That works.
Nice. Should be super easy. You'll do it quick.
True story.
You get there.
I almost started a business after college when I was having trouble finding work writing, where I would write essays for anyone who was in college, and they would just pay me based off of the length and the turnaround time that they needed. And then, of course, I had to research it, and it is on a state-by-state basis, but it's illegal pretty much anywhere. Because, like, if I sell the full rights for my work to someone, that becomes theirs. So it's technically not plagiarism. They own it, and they're allowed to turn that in. I think there's only, like, 3 states where someone had already tried it, because someone had already tried it in every fucking state. And there was only 3 states, I think, where they decided, like, yeah, it's fucking legal. And then people would still fail them, and then they'd take their teachers to court. It was a really messy situation. I was like, you know what? This is probably not the best business for me to be in. Let's start a scary podcast instead.
All right. Lots of people are saying nope about that story that you just read. Let's see.
Kaylee over on YouTube says, fine, Brat, don't say hi, LOL. I'm scrolling pretty quickly, so I'm not sure if you said hi. I'm going to say hi back just in case it was us that you were saying that to. So, hello.
Ulrich says, fuck both of them. Even Sanders is creepy now. Yeah, seriously. Ronald McDonald is super creepy. I think the Hamburglar is super creepy. It's these weird creatures that don't make sense to me.
Creatures? They're mascots.
Well.
You know who wasn't creepy? Joe Camel. He just didn't have a good message. Do you not remember Joe Camel? Is that 3.5-year gap too much for you this time again?
I don't know who Joe Camel is.
He was I'm pretty sure it was.
Is he a real camel?
It was actually Camel. No.
Oh.
It was a cartoon logo from the Camel Cigarette Company of a badass looking camel smoking fucking Camel cigarettes. They had to get rid of him, obviously, because he was an animal selling something, just like Spuds McKenzie. Don't know if you guys remember Spuds McKenzie. He's this cute dog that had like a spot on his face that sold beer. And like I used to have a little like plastic mug that had Spuds McKenzie on it, and it became a collector's item because they discontinued everything Spud McKenzie because it was a dog selling beer to kids. So, well, not kids, but it's like that's a kid's
Remember
thing.
the commercial, the Budweiser commercial with the frogs?
Yes.
I love that.
Let's go back to like 1990 Super Bowl commercials.
Okay, anyway. So, no, I don't think Colonel Sanders is as creepy. I think it's weird that they swap out who plays Colonel Sanders constantly now, but he doesn't creep me out necessarily.
I think those commercials are dumb, but he doesn't really creep me out. I know I try and guess the actor, so it's kind of fun for me because they change it so often.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like Jason Alexander as the Colonel, though. I think he's hilarious.
I'm really glad that everyone is on the Oron High Host Club boat with me.
Karen on YouTube says, in order of importance, scarish, food, grades, sleep, and social life. When I first read it, I was like, why is grapes on her list? And I'm like, oh, it's grades. I'm stupid. That's what happens when you don't prioritize your grades. You can't read that word.
Mothboy says, Oron High Ghost Club. Because it's Oron High Host Club.
I don't know.
I hate you. Not you. Him. Okay. Anyway.
Kaylee over on YouTube says, dude, no joke. Ronald is a creep. Erica says, oh my God, the statue. Yes.
That's why his arm's out like this. He wants to hug all the kids.
He just wants to hug all the people. It's not children specific. They have Colonel statues in KFCs too, and the benches and everything too.
Do they have him?
They had it on the one by the place we used to live.
Right.
Yeah. No joke.
Okay, yeah, you're totally right.
Smiling is creepier than frowning. Why? Because sometimes when you smile, you're supposed to look happy. It makes you look happy in a moment you shouldn't be happy. So some people do it as like a nervous reflex too. So like they smile when they're nervous, and like it really creates bad situations for them.
Is the whole you use less muscles to smile than frown a real thing?
I don't know. I'm sure it's just something they say.
I have legit resting bitch face sometimes, and I can't tell.
I call it resting Puerto Rican face. My dad gave it to me, and I can't change it. I had people in my when I had a team, I had 16 people on my team. 14 people they all had to do like evaluations for me as a boss. 14 people were like, he's great. He's taught me all this stuff. Just amazingly wonderful remarks. And 2 people said that like I'm not approachable. And when they asked them why, they're like, he always looks angry. And I'm like, but I'm not. Like I'm always in a good mood. They just never ask me anything. So like they don't know. And it's like, and I basically was denied a promotion for having resting bitch face. And I was like, this isn't going to change, so, like, that's discrimination, and there's just nothing I can do about it. That's bullshit.
I've had so many, a lot of my jobs, most of my jobs, I've had my superior walk over and tell me, you need to smile more.
I fucking hate hearing that. Like, you should smile more. It's like, you should shut your fucking mouth more.
I just
How about
can't,
that?
I can't, it's hard for me, I can't. Miss Deezy says she sleeps with a stuffed shark. Glitch sleeps with a haunter. I'm really glad I'm not alone in this.
Kaylee over in YouTube says, Adam, quote, they back me up. I love you guys. Me, middle finger. Fuck you, Adam. Love you.
What the fuck?
Good to know. Thank
All
you.
right. Oh my gosh, Amber says it's the hash slinging slasher.
Don't know what that is.
Of SpongeBob.
Erica over in YouTube has made it sad and says, R.I.P. to the creator.
Yes,
because he passed away, and he was only in his 50s too.
Yeah, and what was it? 53? He was young.
I think he was 57.
Yeah, he was really young. Super sad.
Sorry, I see the Snark has joined us. Snark is selling essays. I've looked into it a lot. I really did. I also want to apologize for your Facebook feed because he made some reference to the song "Chasing Cars" and how it reminds him of people dying. So I immediately posted an image from Grey's Anatomy of a character that died to that song. That totally ruined that show for me. And yeah, I think I made that post even sadder than it was.
I've never watched it, and I never will.
It's just
too much drama.
It's an emotional.
And I watch drama.
Gauntlet.
I don't know. It just seems like too much. And there's been so much drama around that show, like the writers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Kaylee over on YouTube says, "Come on, Robin Spuds. How do you remember the Budweiser frogs?" I don't know how people don't remember Spuds McKenzie. I think it's because they strategically removed those characters and any marketing around them, so it was like they didn't exist after they got rid of it. Karen says, why can't companies just make cute mascots? Why do they all have to be super creepy? I feel like the ones that are not creepy do better. Like you cannot tell me that Pikachu being the mascot for Pokemon isn't one of the main reasons that series for video games and for television did so well.
Yeah. That's why we'll see in Japan. Okay. I know we talk about Japan way too much, but when we were in Japan, so much of the marketing, just about everywhere, has a cute character on it.
Yeah, it's true.
So many cute anime characters on everything. It's insane how much. That or like maid cafe girls on everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
it's either cute or sexy over there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it is with our stuff and weird things.
True story. I don't know why they did this, but like with Grey's Anatomy, that song, the Chasing Cars song is super sad and someone died to it. And I feel like every medical show after that either had that song or that song Breathe, where it's like, just breathe. You're not paying any attention.
Sorry.
So hopefully someone out there is listening to me. But that super sad song, and I remember watching so many shows and being like, wow, this is a really depressing song. Like it's so like overplayed during sad moments. And later on in life, I had to go put down my dogs. And the first one we had to go put down, we sat in the waiting room for like 20 minutes because the vet who took care of our dog's entire life was off that day. And he insisted on coming in on his day off so he could be the one to put our dog down. And then he got there and we went into the room and that fucking song was playing when we put our dog down. And I was just standing there like, this moment could not be any sadder. This stupid fucking song has to play. And then like 2 years later, we went back to put our other dog down.
Oh, no.
And I was like, if I get into that fucking room and Breathe is playing again, I'm just going to break down. And then we went into that goddamn room and it was a different song. I was like, thank God. And then right before they injected our dog, that song started playing. And I was just standing there like, I can't handle this shit. I'm not going back to work today.
Wow.
It's 100% true.
What are the odds?
What are the oods? Did you all go to the Poke Center? Fuck yes, we did.
Yeah, I think
it was
we went
awesome.
to two.
We went to two. We ate at one of them.
No, we did it. We went to 3. So we went to the one where the Pokemon Cafe is, and then we went to the one in Sunshine City, and then we went to the one. Well, we went to the Tokyo Station like mini shop. I don't know. We shopped for a lot of Pokemon stuff.
We did. We bought a lot of Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, so
this is also a 100% true story. When we were there, I told Robin before we went, I'm taking my pillow because I've been warned by all the people who are tall at my work that have been to Japan that the beds are too small and the pillows feel like they're made of like rice. Like they feel like they're made of beans, like really hard beans or whatever. And we got there, and she insisted, like, no, that's not going to happen. Our hotel's really nice. We got there. The hotel was really nice. Pillows were all exactly how they were described, hard as a fucking rock. I was like, I can't sleep on this.
I slept fine.
For 2 days, I was using the blanket as a pillow. And then we went to the Pokemon Center, and I got a Ditto plush. And we took a pillow out of the case, and I put the Ditto plush in there. I slept on that for the last 10 days of our trip.
They kept taking the Ditto out every time they cleaned
and
the
setting
room.
it on like the chair in the side room.
And then eventually towards the end of our vacation,
they realized what I was doing.
And so they just left it in there and just stacked it with all the other pillows.
It was hilarious. But I was like, without that Ditto, I would not have made it through that vacation and got any sleep. So
but yeah, I don't know, it was fun. It was cool. We love Pokemon a little bit too much. But
Erica says, do you guys have a Nintendo Switch? I think I'm gonna go get Pokemon Go Eevee. I have one. I got Eevee. I got her for her birthday / Christmas, the special Nintendo Switch that's themed after Pokemon Let's Go, and she got the Pikachu one.
Yeah.
So we do have it, and I do definitely enjoy it. I will say here that the only thing I don't like about Pokemon Let's Go, and I know this isn't a video game podcast, so I'll keep it short, is like if you've played Pokemon Go, how you have to throw the balls to catch the Pokemon, that mechanic is the same in the game. You don't battle Pokemon anymore, weaken them, and then catch them. You just throw balls until you get it, which is annoying because you burn through Pokeballs so much. Snorlax is the only one that you fight because you wake him up and he attacks you. So they're like, you have to fight him and then survive, and then you can try and catch him. So it gets a little bit annoying, but ultimately it works. There's a lot more battles in the game between Pokemon trainers, and you get rewards. Like, you've always gotten money. Now you get money and Pokeballs all the damn time to restock you, so you're not constantly wasting your money on them. I'll stop right there, though.
It's lots of geeky
stuff.
We're
super
talking about
fucking
like
nerdy.
so much Pokemon. Yeah. Like, all we do is play video games all the time. Work, school, play video games.
This is true.
And do the podcast, obviously.
And we occasionally read scary stories, which we should probably do right now. We should probably get back to that. Because right now we're just keeping pace with the chat and just talking to you guys, which is super fun. But we can't do it for 2 hours.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay. So this one goes, hi, Adam and Grace. So close.
Every fucking person gets my name wrong.
No, they called you Adam.
Oh, wow. It was your name this time. I thought they called me Grace. That's how used to it I am. Good to know. Thank you, whoever wrote this.
New listener, and I love your show.
This is the Snark. I just realized this is the Snark's email.
Oh,
who's watching right now?
Hi.
Hi. We're reading this. Thank you for getting her name wrong and not mine. That's why you're my favorite. No one can hear your look on a... Okay.
Fuck you.
Just keep going.
My balls. I have an interesting story about sleep paralysis. From my psychology classes back in the day, I got an understanding for sleep paralysis. As you're falling asleep, your body starts to shut down, and this happens through your parasympathetic nervous system, or PSNS, and it paralyzes your body, so when you're dreaming, you don't act out those dreams. Sleep paralysis happens when your brain wakes up, but your parasympathetic nervous system still hasn't let go of your body. The PSNS also regulates your breathing when you're asleep. Ooh.
Fun story, too. I guess this isn't even a story, just fun fact. When you jolt awake, like when you're falling asleep, it's because your heart rate is entering into resting mode before your brain's going to sleep. And your brain thinks you're dying because your heart rate is slowed so much, so it sends a jolt to check and see if your body's still awake.
That's creepy.
That's why you don't just jump because you're afraid. Like, you're jumping because your brain's like, are we dead? Let's check. That's true. That is 100% true. Because someone posted a meme where it was like, did you know that when you jump like that, when you're falling asleep, it's because someone else in a parallel universe, the other version of you just died? And someone's like, it's actually not that. This is what it is. And then someone's like, I don't know which one is worse.
I just always worry I'm going to suffocate in my sleep. So
that's why she takes up the entire fucking bed, to make sure she's safe from that.
So when you wake up and you can't move your body, you start to panic. Usually when you're scared, you start to breathe harder. And since you can't control your own breathing, you feel like you're suffocating. Now, for the story. When I was 5, living in California, my neighbors were telling us about the night hag, called Made. Oh, it's a Vietnamese word. I can't say it. It's like mad. I can't de made.
I'll go ahead and mark this so I can clean this up in post.
It's a Vietnamese word. Made. Made. It's pronounced made.
This is just riveting podcasting. I'm
Sorry.
looking over at the numbers to make sure
The
they're not
snark
just
is like,
dropping to zero.
shame on you. You're not Vietnamese. You're a failure. I am a failure.
Stop it. Please. Just keep going.
They got a new mattress, and anyone who would sleep on the bed would get sleep paralysis. They finally decided to get rid of the mattress, so they cut it open. And inside, there was blood all over the inside of the mattress.
That is not sanitary and super fucking gross.
Apparently, they were sold a used mattress where someone was violently murdered in.
Where they just scrubbed it? Like, they just like, yeah, the blood's soaked in, but as long as you can't see it, no big deal.
I can't even. That's so
Let's
scary.
put this cursed crucifix and maybe a fucking spirit board in there, too, just for funsies.
The email continues. Kind of sounds full of shit.
That's hilarious.
Another story. When I was 3 or 4, my grandmother passed away in Vietnam. Apparently, that same day before she got the call, I told her that my grandfather was standing in our living room with my grandmother. Apparently, I pointed at them and waved.
Wow.
My mom got so scared, she grabbed me and went into her room and locked the door. She made a long-distance call to Vietnam and found out that her mother, my grandmother, passed away.
That's so sad.
It was nighttime in Vietnam, so she had a hard time getting in touch with people. Apparently, when my grandmother was in her last few days of life, she told everyone that she could see her husband and he was there for her.
Aww.
She said she couldn't go until she was sure her only daughter in America was okay. Oh, the feels. A couple of days later, she said that we were all okay and she passed away shortly after that. The weird thing is that I've never met or seen most of my grandparents. Somehow, I knew the 2 ghosts in my house were my grandparents.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that's
super intense.
That's super intense.
That's really sweet, though. I really think people come to check on their relatives.
How scary would that be, though, if you had a kid and they saw someone and they said they saw someone and then you are just like, holy crap, and then you just have to make sure and check and see if.
And then immediately afterwards, you find out that they had passed away.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love the podcast. My only issue is the vocal levels are pretty low. I don't know how to fix that. It's all you.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I try and keep it low so people can turn the volume up, because people will tell me, like, the volume gets really high and spikes in some places, and like, as much as I can fix that, it's a crapshoot, to be honest with you. And depending on where you listen to it through, like, we get complaints from Spotify listeners a lot where it's like the levels are way too high. I'm just like, I cannot get this thing like specialized. I don't even know what the word is for it. Like, I cannot get it taken care of to be listened to like perfectly across the board for everyone, especially with the setup that we have right now. Hopefully we can start upgrading soon. We can get these mics are good. I really want to move to a professional level microphone because it'll take care of a lot of our problems.
Yeah. I have the volume cranked up on speaker and my car's Bluetooth is at 100% and I still have trouble hearing some dialogue. I think I mumble my words a lot too.
A lot of times if you look away from the microphone, this microphone is better at picking up.
Yeah, this
when
one
it's
is not
directly on.
So
that one you kind of have to stare directly at. So yeah, there's a few issues that we can hopefully get cleared up with a little bit of upgrades.
I know this microphone, like, it only captures this. So if I'm, like, anywhere else, it's, like, really hard. But yeah, thank you so much for sending your story. I love those kinds of stories. They, like, freak me out, but they're, like, really good. And I don't know. I like them.
I agree. It's super sad, though.
It is very sad, but very interesting.
Indeed. Let's look over into Stream Chat and see what you guys had to say.
Boo, boo, going to the stream and reading stuff. Ulri says, the ditto shape-shifted into a pillow.
That's funny.
Bop, bop,
I just realized it's actually right up there. We put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it's looking down on us while we record like, I got you, bro.
The derpiest face.
Well, it's ditto.
The Switch is awesome. I love my Switch. I am very surprised at how much I love my Switch. This whole time that Adams had his, I was just like, I don't need it. It's silly. But now that I have it, I'm like, I need a screen protector and I want a case so I can carry it everywhere.
You were surprised at the size, too. You thought it was much smaller than it is when you're in handheld mode.
I don't like how big it is sometimes because once you put the controllers on, it's so long. But when you take it off, then it's like the perfect size. I don't know.
I like it. I like having it docked. I like taking it with me. I like the fact that I don't have to do a whole lot to play a game. I can just switch cartridges out. I don't like switching out CDs because they're so easy to fucking scratch.
My sister was very surprised at how small the cartridges are.
Yeah, it's because the SD card technology is caught up to like Blu-rays at this point. So you can fit more in a cartridge that's like that big than you can on like a Blu-ray at this point. And there's like barely any loading times for most of the games, so it's really nice. It's just not capable of having games like Red Dead Redemption 2, which just came out, or some of the other games without having them be like downgraded. So hopefully they release a version later on that's like the HD version or the 4K version where they can actually have the power on the stupid thing to support like all the third-party games, because they sell like hotcakes and they're doing really well. It's basically Save Nintendo. Thank you so much. Swamp Boy over in YouTube says American Horror Story 7 murder mattress. That's hilarious. It's the Orange said, ew, when we read the part about the mattress being filled with blood. That's so gross.
That is disgusting, and whoever sold it, you're a dickhead.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that I butchered half the attempts of trying to say that Vietnamese term, but I'm glad I got it in the end.
The Snark says, so I found out my phone speaker died. It's me, not you guys.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'm glad.
I know.
Not glad that your phone speaker died, but I'm glad it's like.
I've had people talk to me about the audio. I have a friend who records and does like audio professionally. He listens to the podcast, so I always ask him like, on your end when it's coming through, like what needs to be taken care of, what needs to be cleaned up, and he'll let me know like it can do some equalization work in post-production, which is basically taking out the super highs and the hisses and the super lows, which is kind of hard to do when you don't have a whole lot of background. So I watch a lot of videos, but aside from that, like I just kind of put the audio level where we're equal, and that's all I really try and do. But like I said, her microphone, we just got these microphones like 6-7 months ago, so it's really hard for me to move on to a new microphone unless it's going to be like a significant upgrade. And a significant upgrade is like a $400 microphone. So I'm glad that it's not too bad for most of you guys, and I'm hoping that it's gotten better. So we'll see. Erica over on YouTube says, I've been trying to finish Zelda, but I like doing random outside of the story, LOL. I did 130 hours in Zelda. 130 hours before I finally fought Ganon and won. After you do that, it tells you what your percentage of completion for that game was. I was at 23%.
Wow.
And since then, the expansions have been released, so I was nowhere near done. So you're trying to 100% that thing and then kill Ganon. It is so mind-boggling and like painful when you finish it and it tells you just how much you didn't do. And they released a thing. I know this is video game shit again. They released a thing in a patch where you can see the last 100 hours of where you've walked. Mm-hmm. Like on the huge map, it'll show you like a green line of everywhere you've gone. And by looking at that, you realize you haven't even explored huge chunks of that map. There's a fucking gladiator arena in that game. It's like broken down, but I didn't even know it existed. I walked past it like over 120 hours of playing that game until they finally released that, and I'm like, I need to go look at this shit. So that game is amazing. Eric also says, I cannot wait for Smash Bros. I agree. I'm pretty good at Smash Bros.
I really want to play. We only need one copy too, which is great.
Yep, that's very true.
But I love Super Smash. I suck at it, but I love how many characters you get to play.
She's good with all the Pokemon.
Yeah, Charizard.
She's really good with Charizard.
I love Charizard, but I just love Super Smash. I love that I can play Bayonetta. I love Bayonetta. She's like, oh my gosh. Did I post that thing about Lady Gaga? Oh, I love it. The fact that she's playing Bayonetta. Oh.
And she's staying up all night to play it. And she's like, this damn boss won't let me sleep.
It's such a good game. I was so surprised when Nintendo was like, BT dubs, we're making Bayonetta now.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3's on its way. I don't know. The game I have the best memories of is Zelda, because my family used to play the original one together on the Nintendo, so it's always been my favorite game. So when I play Smash, I'm almost always Link. I'll switch it up every now and then to try and get really good with another character in case I have to, but I play Link all the time, which I know is like scrub status, but hey, it's like,
I
it's
like
nostalgia
playing Kirby and then swallowing Link.
She does. She's good at it. She has practice.
Who?
I mean, from playing him.
Okay.
I don't know, Link. I don't know if you're out there on your knees blowing some fairy dude.
Oh, I thought you were making like some... whatever.
I don't know what you thought I was saying.
Okay.
Katamari Damacy does come out on the Switch in December.
This became a video game podcast. I don't know how this happened. Okay.
We slide right into that. Video game and movie podcast we slide into way too easily. I don't know.
It's just, we're super, super nerdy. And so we get super excited when other people share like our same interests.
Right.
Which is why like... having all of you guys, it's like meeting all these new friends we wouldn't have had otherwise, and we get to talk about nerdy stuff with and see all these amazing memes from, and it's just so funny.
Yeah, it is. I like that the snark over there said Bayonetta and spelled it Bay like B-A-E.
She's totes Bay.
Pretty good.
Oh my gosh. I remember when I played the first one on Xbox and there's a scene where like water's dripping. Oh yeah, no.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and move into my second email of the night. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. And the subject is sleep paralysis story. Please read. And the answer is, okay, I will. And it goes like this. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello. This is my first time messaging into you guys. I drive a lot for work, and I look for stuff to listen to when music gets repetitive. Anyways, feel free to share this on your podcast. I listened to one of your podcasts that mentioned sleep paralysis, and it made me think of my experience with the scary as shit phenomenon. I was dating this girl about 5 years ago whose family was really into paranormal stuff, herself included. I am not, in all caps, into paranormal stuff.
Oh, wow.
Looking back, it was definitely a red flag. Hashtag no fucking thanks. I like that hashtag. We only dated about 5 months, but a couple months into the relationship, when I would come home at night from being with her every night, I would be sleeping and suddenly feel this tightening warmth. Sort of like when you were a kid, if you ever wet the bed, feeling except it wasn't wet. Okay, I need to start this sentence over because it's
So it's like when you're a little kid and you think
pee the bed.
Yeah, you pee the bed and it's warm, but he feels the warmth from like as if you peed the bed, but it's not wet.
Okay.
Or squishy.
Cool. I'm going to reread it so it sounds better on the actual podcast.
You're a dick.
How am I a dick?
Bye, Felicia.
It sounds horrible and the sentence keeps going too. So, sort of like when you were a kid, if you ever wet the bed, the wet the bed feeling, except it wasn't wet, but it slowly started spreading. The worst part was that I would know.
The warmth was spreading.
Yes, the feeling of like being tight and being warm.
Okay.
The worst part was that I would know it was going to happen each time about 10 seconds before it actually happened. It was constricting and heavy, and I was terrified to open my eyes thinking I would see something straddling my body. I couldn't talk or move, so I would pray to Jesus in my head, asking him to get rid of whatever was doing this to me. I would repeat his name, Jesus, 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 over and over, and suddenly the pressure would give way and I could move again, but I never opened my eyes. One time when the pressure went away, I actually woke up yelling in terror. Sometimes these moments would follow a dream I would have where I was in my grandmother's old home. She had this very long hallway with a bathroom towards the end, a creepy-ass hallway that I wouldn't walk down to this day if she still lived there. But the dream would be me walking down that hallway, and it would start to grow longer and longer, so I'd go into a sprint. I would always make it to the bathroom. Inside the bathroom, I would approach the mirror, and shivers would run through my entire body, and it felt so real.
Stay away from the mirrors. Stay away.
Why?
Because I hate mirrors. It freaks me out. Even in the middle of the night when I go to the restroom, I run past the mirror.
I literally stand there and stare at myself in the mirror so I can see the details on my face, so my eyes can adjust back to the darkness before I go back in the bedroom, because I don't want to step on the dog, and sometimes she's on the floor.
Yeah, and she blends in.
And while I'm standing there, like, looking at it, I start getting creeped out, and then in my head, I'm like, you merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it, molded by it.
I think just this morning, I went to the restroom, came back to the bedroom, and I was like, where's Yui? Where's the dog? Because she's black.
I heard you say that. She's, like, at my feet.
Yeah, she's on the bed, and I just heard her tail, like, smacking the bed.
She heard her name.
I was like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh, hello, dog. And she's standing right in front of you. It happens a lot when you have a dog that's dark and you're in the darkness.
Yeah.
So going back to the email, finally, one of the last times I stayed the night at this girlfriend's house, the entire night I heard footsteps. They would walk down the stairs into the room and loom over my girlfriend and I. I could feel it.
Nope.
They would then walk away, back up the stairs, and repeated this process the entire night. I told her about it in the morning, and she said it was probably her grandmother who was deceased watching over the house. That was the last time I spent the night there. We broke up shortly after that, and I haven't had sleep paralysis or the dream about the hallway since we broke up.
Maybe that was a good choice.
Yeah, I think it sounds
I know that's
like
horrible to say, but like, that's a scary situation to be in.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they were doing some, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. They were clearly a family of demons that were experimenting on your dreams, though. I talked to her a couple of months after we broke up to catch up for some dumbass reason. You were looking to bang. Don't even try and lie about it. I'm just saying, I'm calling you out right now.
Looking to bang? What the fuck?
And she told me she was getting into Wiccanry with a question mark. Is that the right word? She was a Wiccan, in parentheses. I don't know how to spell it. I think you got it right.
Is it called Wicca then? She's into Wicca if she's a Wiccan.
I don't know. Wicca. That's all I heard in my head. The black magic cult / religion thing, it's not necessarily black magic, by the way. Most of that is not black magic.
Right.
And all that, but confirmed that she was casting some dark shit into my life. What a fucking bitch.
That's a bitch
She might not be a
move.
demon, but I totally called it. I had chills just writing this to you guys, but I hope you get some good goosebumps from it. And then it says sent from my iPhone, which I almost fucking read out loud because I'm stupid. So thank you so much for sending that in. We appreciate it. I will say, I'm just putting this out there. I know a lot of you guys get into relationships and you're like exploring who the person is, and then you're realizing certain things about them. Keep an open mind, because it is very important to keep an open mind into what your partner's interests are.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean you need to participate. You can have like separate things you're interested in, but never stick your dick in crazy. To all the guys listen to this.
Wow.
That's a rule.
I can't believe you said
That's
that.
a rule.
I can't believe you
need
said
to live
that.
your life by. And anyone who's listening to this is like, I can't believe he said that. But he's fucking right, and that's the truth, because it's really, really, it'll fuck up your life, and I'm just saying that to anyone who's listening. Robin's like framing her face like, hello. The listeners can't hear that.
You're saying this to everyone, and you can't even follow your own rules, so...
I'm just trying to help someone else out there, okay?
Okay.
It's like when you're being dragged out, and you're like, don't be me!
All right.
Don't hurt me.
Let's move on.
She's going to beat me when this podcast is over. We all know it's going to happen.
You better cut that shit out of the podcast
I'm
later.
not.
Just
I'm
saying.
totally not doing
Fucking
that.
hate you.
I'm leaving it in. So let's look over into Stream Chat and see what you guys had to say, and hopefully she'll forget about it by the time this is over. So scrolling up.
Is everything going on in YouTube and not over here?
Yeah, there's a lot of chat in YouTube this episode.
It's all
actually.
YouTube. Sorry, Twitch, but I can't read it, so it's all you. Speak.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm trying to read what's actually being said on the Twitch chat right now. Miss Deezy says, you are on a gaming site.
We are on Twitch. Twitch originally, was just for streaming games.
Right.
So it makes sense. Like, I had no idea Twitch existed until my friend invited me to be part of his gaming
podcast.
Not even gaming podcast. It was like their gaming group.
Talk show?
And they started a
right.
website called High Level Gaming that I don't think exists anymore. But that's the only way I had ever heard of Twitch. I had never heard of like IPL or anything until I met you. So
yeah, super nerd right here.
Yeah.
I wish I knew about Twitch when I used to play Battlefield 3 on my PC back when it was still like an awesome PC, which was 10 years ago, because it was just starting up, and if I would have streamed it, I probably could have gotten a following because I used to play it so much. But yeah, it happens. So over on YouTube, though, It's the Orange Tree says, wow, that's super creepy. Oh, my God. Good choice on the breakup. Haha, I totally agree. Swampy Boy says, yes, Robin.
I was correct about the Wicca thing.
Ah, perfect. Erica says, it's Wicca and she's a Wiccan. It's earth magic related, as in worshiping the earth. I know there's something when it comes to Wicca where you don't study it and you don't worship it, but you're aware of the dark side of the magic, right?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know. That might just be because I watched The Craft a million times as a kid. By the way, that movie's fucking awesome. So, just saying. Erica says, I mean, there's more into it, but yeah. I've actually been wanting to dabble into it because my dad's aunt is a witch, but she did black magic, and another part of me doesn't want to do any kind of witchery because of that. And Swampy Boy says, that's totally fair. I'm a witch, mostly Wiccan, but I like to try other things. Right on. So there you go.
Cool.
No commentary on what I had said that you were super freaked out about, which I guess is a good thing. I'm really worried that Twitch actually crashed for a bunch of people, but...
I'm hoping it didn't. I'm hoping just everyone's busy doing their thing.
Mothboy Real Estate just said, one of my family friends was going to get married, and on her wedding day, the groom was late. Turned out he died. Later on, she learned that apparently she was cursed by an ex that she would never find a husband or something. She changed her name, and now the whole friend group calls her by that name.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. That is fucked up.
What?
That's really good, Mothboy. I'm going to edit that into the episode so that people will hear that, because that is a really good story. So, good shit.
That's crazy. Okay. Am I last? Or no? Well, no. My story and then your story.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is your third one, right?
This is my third one.
This one, I will tell you, just looking over at it, has some funky editing in it. It was sent that way. It's weird. It's like it's a full page margin, then half page margin, and the letters go from big to small. So
it's fine. I didn't wear my glasses, but whatever.
Oh no, this is gonna be bad.
Okay. This email goes, hi Adam and Robin. Hi.
Hello. I was waiting for you to go first, and I think you were too.
Well, I sometimes I contemplate, like, do I want to say hi? Do I want to say hello?
Like, you want to mix it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like, ahoy. Maybe tossing an ahoy.
Salutations.
Cheers. How you doing, dog? Greetings and salutations. I'm from Demolition Man. I love that movie.
Demolition Man's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
Is that the one with Sandra Bullock?
It is.
Yeah.
That made her career.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She turned that down at the time that Lori, I forget her name, the chick from Tank Girl. I talked about this on the podcast before. She was offered, I don't know if you've ever seen Tank Girl. Not a lot of people
Is that the one with the chick with the gun for a leg?
No. You say that every time I bring this up. That is from Grindhouse. That is not that. That's Planet Whatever. I forget the name of that one too. Jesus. This is just horrible.
I love Rose McGowan. So.
Okay, yeah. No. If you ever seen A League of Their Own, the little sister.
Oh, okay.
She's Tank Girl.
Okay.
Her career was huge. She was offered the lead in Demolition Man that Sandra Bullock wound up taking because she passed on it to make Tank Girl.
Lori Petty.
Yes, Tank Girl flopped.
Miss Deasy said it.
Laura Petty's career ended. I shouldn't say ended, but it just got worse. I think she's fantastic, by the way. I fucking love her. And then Sandra Bullock took the fuck off. So she'd already been kind of well known.
Bullock. I'm guilty of loving. I think it's called The Proposal, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
That is such a horrible movie that I can't stand that I like.
I love it. It's
because Betty White's in it, and no matter how cheesy Betty White is, I'm like, God, I love this woman.
Okay, so back to the email. The email continues. My name's Samantha, but you can call me Sam. Hi,
What's
Sam.
up, Sam? How you doing?
First, I just wanted to say that I absolutely love your podcast. I have a relatively lengthy drive to and from work and needed a good scary-ish podcast to listen to. I just so happened to find you on Spotify, and I've been hooked ever since.
Hooray.
I'm currently on episode 30. Wow!
You're moving through pretty quick.
Yeah, you're moving through pretty fast. And trying to catch up. I'm not usually one to send anything in or comment on Facebook posts, and it's taken me probably 3 months to finally sit down to type this, but I just thought this would be a good thing for me to share with you since I don't really have many people I can talk to about the creepy stuff.
I'm really happy you decided to do that, because I think there's a lot of people probably listening right now who have thought, like, I'm going to send them this story. And then they just don't. Whether it's like you just don't get around to it or you start and decide not to. I've had multiple people contact me and tell me, like, I was going to send you a story, but I decided not to because I got way too creeped out writing it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just something that happens. But, hey, you pushed through and you sent this. So we appreciate that.
I think, personally, it takes a lot to put yourself out there like that.
It takes nothing to read these.
No.
We are nothing. We are just a conduit. We are a vessel for your words, folks. So, like, you're taking all of the effort by sending this in, and we are just reading these for you guys to listen to. So, we give you all the credit for sending these in.
All right. So, the email continues. I'll
Did it actually say that?
No, that's just me trying to find my place.
It sounded really nice. So.
Oh, thank you. Lots of watching La La Land. I'll try to make this not too long of a story, and I would absolutely love it if you shared this on the podcast. I'll have a complete fangirl moment, just saying. Here it goes.
Hopefully you're still listening and you can fangirl out to this then.
On to the story. Don't worry, there's no basements. Thank you, because I'm the one reading this. That's great. I grew up in a smallish town in Northern California and have been in this area ever since. I recently moved out of my parents' house, but I'm only about 25 minutes away. It's not, the house I grew up in is in one of the oldest neighborhoods in the town. It's not ancient by any means. However, it was built in the mid-30s and my parents still live there. That's kind of cool. That's really neat that your parents still live there.
Yeah, I like places with history. I liked visiting my friends in Chicago back when I used to live there, like when they were downtown. Because you go into those apartments and, like, they're old apartments. They've been around for a long time, you know? It's very rare that you find something brand new. Like out in Las Vegas, like, everything's always brand new because everything's always being built and then being rented, like, right away. You know, it's very hard to find a place that's, like, old and has history. And a lot of people don't like that. Like, we've talked about it before. Like, you don't want to live in a place that might have had something bad happen in it.
Right.
It's hard to avoid that when you're in a place that's old.
The house that I grew up in from, like, middle school onward in Hawaii was in the middle of nowhere. And I swear the house must have been built in, like, the 50s or something because there was gross linoleum. Like, it was all old. The whole entire house.
Popcorn ceilings. Those are my least favorite fucking things on the planet.
Well, see, this house wouldn't have had that because every little piece of it was wood. All the walls, wood. And then my parents, once they took it over, were like, let's put in wood floors.
Wow.
So the walls were wood. There's no such thing as painting the walls. They didn't do that. You know what they did? They glazed them. So now the wood's shiny.
shining.
So
it sounds like you lived in a sauna, not even in a log cabin.
Yeah.
It sounds really gross.
It was just everything was wood. My parents put in wood floors. It was just really old. Like the house, you still have to like crank the windows open. That's how old this house was.
That's not terribly old.
Well, you crank the windows open. Some open this way. Some open this way. But
no one can see the hand motions in the audience.
Some they open willy-nilly.
Some open like from the like flat way, like out, and then some open like they split and they like peek out, right?
Yeah. So anyway, that was the weirdest thing for me to get used to, is having a house where you had to crank the windows open. And they still live there. It's a really old. I mean, I was 10 when we moved in, I think, and I'm 29 now, and they still live there. So they've been living there for a really long time, and the house is already old. So I totally know, I mean, the feeling of like, it's not really an old house by any means in the grand scheme of things. But it's,
imagine living in the UK where it's
kind
like
of creepy.
Oh yeah, this apartment building's been here for 1,000 years, you know?
Yeah.
It's like America's all fairly new because, you know, for reasons that everyone pretty much knows.
We're only 200 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's stolen, so
what the fuck?
Yeah, let's just be real about that.
Anyway,
let's get back to this email though. Let's not get anyone else out there pissed off.
So it's your typical older home with creaky floors and strange noises. I know the feeling. From the house settling on the foundation, etc. To give you a general idea of the layout, when you walk in the front door, going right will take you into the kitchen, and going, oh, this is right, and going straight.
No one could see that you did the wrong hand.
But
I was gonna keep my mouth shut.
Okay. Okay,
so make L's with your fingers, and the one that's an actual.
Stop! You're making me feel stupid.
Hitting me.
Okay, so, so you go in straight, right, and going to the right will take you to the kitchen. Going straight will take you into a hallway to the bedrooms and the bathroom, and on your left is the living room. Bathroom on the left and living room on the right. Okay. You can also get to the living room from the kitchen. Long story short, imagine a giant wall in the middle of the house, and you can walk around it to get to any room. All right.
It's weird, but okay. It sounds like a set for a studio. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can just get to any room that you need to film in because there's a divider for every room that's like serves as the backdrop.
Like a loop, you know?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I never really had an imaginary friend. I guess it's kind of common for only children to have them, but I didn't. However, I never felt like I was really alone. I still sometimes have that feeling where I'm there. The first time I ever had a strange occurrence happened that really freaked me out was when I was about 9 or 10. It must have been a teacher work day or something because I don't remember being sick, but I was home on a weekday. My dad was at work, but my mom was working from home in the office, which was the very last bedroom in the farthest corner of the house. I was spending most of the day with her in the office, so I wasn't bored. We had a little TV in the room, and I would just watch Buffy reruns while she worked on the computer.
That's funny.
I love
She
Buffy.
did a two-tapper to the chest and the peace sign.
Buffy is amazing. I freaking love Buffy. With my mom still in the room, I went to the kitchen to get a drink and something to eat and was in the kitchen for just a couple minutes when I got the feeling that I wasn't alone. I was putting the stuff that I had taken out of the fridge away, and as I closed the door, I don't want to read it. I looked to my left towards the hallway opening, and there was a little girl standing right there in the hall entrance.
Play with us.
No. Oh, kids freak me out. Little kids freak me out. I don't know why. I love my niece. My nieces now. I love them. Yeah. And I love my friends' kids. But if I saw a random little fucking kid in my house, I'm pummeling them.
Wow, that's fucked up.
But like, they don't. If the kid doesn't belong there, you don't know where they came from.
You're gonna get beat because you might be a ghost and you've scared me.
Oh my god, they freak me out. Okay. Already.
I can't say don't put your dick in crazy, but you can say you are going to commit child abuse if a kid is out of place and you don't recognize it.
I just don't want them in my house. I'm not going to actually literally beat them, okay? It's just like, it's like, you got to figure out if they belong there or not, and it just freaks me out. Like, what if they're a ghost or a demon?
You do realize you're the adult in this situation, right? You can say something that will scare them far more. Like, you could just scare, like maybe a kid walked into your house and you could just stare at them, just be like, you don't belong here.
Okay, what?
They'll be terrified for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and then what if you say that and then they have that creepy smile that just creeps up?
Then they're a demon. Like, and then you know. You gave it a shot at least to scare the demon.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Didn't pay off.
No, kids freak me out. Okay. She didn't look to be more than 3 years old. She was wearing a little white dress and was just standing there staring at me. I paused for a second before noping the fuck out of there. I ran the other way into the hallway, back into the office where I stayed with my mom until she left the room, and I followed her out. She saw that I was freaked out about something, obviously, since I ran into the room like a bat out of hell, but I didn't tell her what happened because I knew she wouldn't believe me. And since then, I never really felt like I was alone. There was one other occurrence when I used to sleep with my door open and the hall light on. I used to be scared of the dark, and I heard creaking in the hallway. It sounded like the creaking caused by someone walking down the hall. Oh, okay. When I turned to look, there was a man in a black coat and hat walking down the hall towards the bathroom.
Why do you turn to look? Just stay in bed and go back to sleep.
He walked past me with his back facing me, so I never saw his face. I did what you're never supposed to do in a scary movie, and I got out of bed.
Don't cover your mouth. You have a microphone.
I got out of bed and looked out the door to investigate. Ooh, well, when I looked, there was no one there, and the footsteps stopped. Okay, what if you look out and the face is right there? I don't know.
So that's the thing, too. If you think you're in a scary movie, you have to think to yourself, am I in the beginning of a scary movie? Are you going to be the plot? Are you going to move the plot forward?
Or the beginning murder?
If you are, that's what I'm saying. It's not or. That's exactly what I'm saying. You're the person who's going to die that everyone's going to talk about in the next scene. Or are you the person that has something weird happen recently that was the inciting incident, and you're the person that's going to be the main character who could live? Because if you're the person who's going to get murdered, there's not a lot you can do. Like, every decision you make is going to be wrong. If you stay in bed, it's like, why'd they stay in bed and wait to die? If you get up to investigate it, like, why didn't you stay in bed? It's just, you're just boned.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm sorry, I lost my place. I never saw that figure or the little girl again, but since that night, I never slept with my bedroom door open again. To this day, I still run from the back of the house into the living room because I feel like something or someone is there. And there have been plenty of other creepy instances in that house, but those were just the two that really creeped me the hell out. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I hope you read it on the pod. Keep creeping. By the way, I was listening to you guys on the way home from work yesterday. It was a Storytime episode, and you were talking about the movie Signs, and Adam called him M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yes, that's his name.
And
that's his given name.
And I just about lost my shit because that's what I call him too. I think so many people call him that. Driving alone, I literally yelled, "Ha!" and started crying the rest of the way home. I swear that was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Thank you for the laughs. By the way, Adam, Lady in the Water isn't a cinematic masterpiece by any means, but it is pretty entertaining, and it's my go-to guilty pleasure movie to watch when I'm home on a rainy day. I recommend giving it a watch sometime.
I'll give it a one-timer. I will watch it. Just because I've heard, like, I know the twist. Someone's already ruined it for me, and it's like, it's something that I can take, so I will definitely watch it. So thank you for that recommendation.
I've never watched it.
Thank you for that story as well.
Yeah,
we appreciate that.
thank you so much. That was really good.
It's just weird thing when you like see something that creepy and decide that you're going to investigate. It means you're brave. It does not mean you're dumb. But if you had died, you know what? That's just a bad decision that you made. But hey, you lived, so you get to say that you made the right decision. Doesn't make it any less fucking creepy, though. Let's be real about that. Right on. So let's look over into Stream Chat and see what you folks had to say. Lots of stuff in YouTube yet again.
Yeah, I'm really kind of stoked that YouTube's all like action
engaged. Yeah, we don't get a lot of chat in YouTube typically, but there's a lot going on over there.
Let's see. I'm really glad that other people like the proposal.
That's hilarious.
Lori Petty's in Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, I had seen that. I think she's like, I don't know what she is. I have no idea. I'm not going to try and speculate.
Okay, I've never
seen her
seen
face
it. We don't.
And some of the promotional material for it. I'm glad she still gets work because she's a good actress. Erica says, definitely, I also deeply believe in the do bad and it'll come back to you worse. Yeah, I really like that in the movie The Craft, where it's like anything that you do evil comes back to you times 3. So, like, if you're going to mess around with magic, like, everything that you do has a price, and if it's bad, it'll come back to you times 3. That's a good rule to live by.
Betty White is my... Glitch says Betty White is my spirit animal. J.B. Watt says, I love Chicago architecture and the history of it.
I love that it's a city built around preserving parks and, like, embracing nature. It is a giant city that's, like, overrun so much of it, but there's so many parks in Chicago, and they're all so beautiful.
We got to see Lincoln Park when we went, right?
We did. We also went to the Bean. We also saw the amphitheater, which is right by the Bean. And there's so many really good
I didn't
museums.
get to flick that bean.
I hate you so much. We touched it, so that counts,
Oh, that's
right?
true. High five.
Yeah. And then there's also Field Museum and Museum of Science and Industry, which are my 2 favorite museums in the world. Mainly because I grew up around there, but they're also world-class museums, so it's kind of hard not to like them. And then Shed Aquarium, of course, Soldier Field. I love Soldier Field. It's a national landmark. It's like dedicated to the troops, and it's like then they play football there. So it's like double awesome. They have columns that have been around forever.
I want to go to the Natural History Museum. I think that'd be cool.
The Museum of Science and Industry?
Sure.
I think there's a Natural History Museum there too, but there's so much there.
I just want to go to a whole bunch of museums.
Erica says, "Oh, dude, my dad's aunt actually lives in Houston, and I do too. But I'm not sure where she's located exactly. But I also don't want to find her because she's done so much harm to my grandpa, her own brother."
Wow.
Wow, that's fucked up.
That's super fucked.
Swampy Boy's response over on YouTube was,
"What a hoe." Okay. JB Watts says, "Good topic would be about Devil in the White City, also known as Chicago. I think that's H.H. Holmes, right?
Yeah.
I think that'd be really interesting to do murder.
It's like true crime stuff, which isn't our normal wheelhouse, but we do enjoy it. So
I have that book. I've only read like the first quarter of it, but that'd be really cool. The whole H.H. Holmes thing is so interesting. We watched a movie, or maybe I watched it by myself, about an apartment complex that it was like a horror movie, an apartment complex that was like haunted, but it was haunted by the ghost of H.H. Holmes, or like the descendants of H.H. Holmes.
I think I remember watching this with you.
It was really strange. We watched so many horror movies, I could never remember.
I could define it
names.
based off the end of it, where it's like
where they find the secret room and stuff like that.
And someone joins them that you thought was going to be a good guy. Yes, I remember this movie. I don't remember what it was called, though. It's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see.
Erica over on YouTube continues this story and says, she tried killing him, but thankfully my grandpa is still alive. He just left back to Mexico a couple days ago.
I'm glad he's still alive.
Yeah, me too. That's fucking crazy.
What a biatch. Miss Deezy says, popcorn ceilings bring out the passion in Adam.
I hate popcorn ceilings. They're hideous. One of my most satisfying videos to watch is when someone puts like a scraper on the end of their like shop vac and just shoves it across a popcorn ceiling where it scrapes off that nasty shit and then sucks it off at the same time. That sounded weird. Don't suck off your popcorn ceilings, people, but definitely get rid of them.
Ew.
Karen over on YouTube says, if there's a house fire, they're screwed. Very true. All right. Keep going.
Yeah. Luckily, we live across the street from the beach.
When we were describing the house, when we were describing the house, Itzy said, sounds like a maze. That's exactly what I thought, too.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's a loop, because if you could get to any room from anywhere, it just seems like maybe kind of just loopy. Like, there's a hallway that goes around everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. We need a floor plan. Send floor plans with your stories, people.
Ulrich says investigating is a mistake. Miss Deezy says I don't know my directions. I don't know either. Driving is really hard for me sometimes.
These are the ones I know. Actually, that's not true.
No,
I'm pretty good with northeast, southwest as well.
That's what I get confused on, because someone's like, I live on the east side of town. I live on the west side of town. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Where is that? What is this?
These words mean nothing to me. Karen over on YouTube says, yes, Buffy slays. Literally, LOL. Indeed, she does. Itzy says, why do ghost girls always wear white dresses? Why not jeans or something?
Because I don't even know. Maybe,
it represents innocence. That's why.
Or it's what they're buried in.
Yeah, typically, like, if you're a little kid and you die, you're buried in something white because it represents, like, the innocent life that's
I'm going to put them in
passed.
something pink.
That's fucking, you're just planning a fucking infant death?
No, I'm just saying.
Or a child's death?
I'm just
creepy.
saying, like, I'm not going to be that generic mom. Does that mean?
No.
Okay.
I guess not. I don't know.
Okay, anyway. So, the Snark says, Gryffindors explore, Slytherin sleep.
Ravenclaws need to know.
Then what
so
do
they
Hufflepuffs
approach carefully.
do? I thought Hufflepuffs would sleep.
Hufflepuffs are like, let me blow you really fast. And not trying to offend any Hufflepuffs, but I always make fun of Robin because she's a Hufflepuff, and I'm like, Hufflepuffs are sluts. And she's like, fuck you.
I'm a Hufflepuff. My sister's Hufflepuff. I'm sure a lot of you are Hufflepuff, and you can suck my balls.
Okay, good to know. Esmeralda Torres says hello. Hello, Esmeralda. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. Paper says that's what he gets for ruining Avatar. Definitely referencing M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong.
Ulrich says Hufflepuff snack. Yes.
That's funny.
I'm always down for eating snacks.
Sneaks past ghost to open fridge. Takes handfuls of cheese and pours into your mouth.
Welcome, Jang Mi, and joining us for the episode.
Hooray, you made it. We have one story left.
Let's see. Miss Deezy says to watch the Bird Box trailer. We should watch it.
The Snark says Huffle thoughts.
Wow.
That works.
Okay.
Karen over in YouTube says, "Oh my God, I'm a Huffly Puffly." Cool. Hufflepuffs eat the cookies under the covers.
That's smart.
That's funny. I'm a
I
Ravenclaw.
would totally.
So.
Growing up, my older sister had a drawer full of snacks. It was the greatest thing.
That is pretty smart. My brother would go to Sam's Club when my parents got their membership, and he would pay them his allowance to buy like super ropes, like the giant, like obviously Sam's Club size one, and fruit roll-ups. And he would put them in his locker at school, and he'd sell them for like 50 cents or $1 each.
Smart.
And he would make so much fucking money off. He made hundreds of dollars off of that shit. He was a very enterprising young man. He's very smart.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Swampy Boy says, "I'm Hufflepuff, and I can confirm Adam's statement. I'm glad that you're living your truth. That's a good thing."
What?
So, Robin's upset now, though.
Okay, anyway, let's go read your story. Do stuff.
All right. I have one more left. This is the last one of the podcast.
Welcome, Connor, to the episode.
I am so glad McShake and Bake has made it. Welcome to the episode, Connor. I'm going to go ahead and read my last one, and then we're going to have marbles on stream like we always do. So, yeah, fun stuff. So I'm going to transition. This is something that you will not hear if you listen to the podcast again because I have to start it all over. So, okay, so I'm going to move into my last email, which is the last email of the show. And this one's subject is story from a former skeptic, which is a really good. I'm really hooked off of the subject line because I want to know what's about to happen.
Cool.
It starts out like this. Hi, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello. Believe it or not, I found you guys on Spotify. Shout out to Spotify.
I just love that meme someone posted.
Someone made a meme in the Scary Spooky Friends group where it's like, it's the meme where it's like someone hiding and then a serial killer with the Jason mask looking for them and they say something and the person shouts back and they put in, "I found you guys on Spotify," and then the person getting murdered was me. It says Adam over and it says, "Shout out to Spotify." It's definitely very accurate. I caught up on my episodes by another popular podcaster by the name of Jim Harold. I've never heard of Jim Harold.
All right.
I'm glad I found you guys because not only can you guys be funnier, you sound genuine, as in being yourselves, along with reading some very creepy stories from history, myths, and fans while maintaining a sense of humor.
We are definitely ourselves, and sometimes we say things where I'm like, did that really just come out of our mouths? We shouldn't say those things.
Mainly me is what she's saying.
No, I mean the whole...
I'm glad we sound genuine, and I'm glad you guys are interested in the content because we're always worried that like our demeanors won't exactly match what we're covering. But at the same time, it's like, it's nice to get these emails to know that it's actually working. But thank you so much for sending us in. Yeah. My name is Amy, and I am a mom of a 14-year-old daughter and expecting another baby. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
I apologize in advance as this might be a long story, but it is the story that made me realize that there are things in the universe we can't and may never be able to explain until we pass on. I spent a couple years dealing with these events too, which lead to the deterioration of a relationship and feeling horrible for not being able to understand the desperate call for help beyond the grave until it was too late. Wow, this is just really setting. This is a lot of foreshadowing, so I'm hoping this wasn't like a terrible experience. Between 2009 and 2013, I lived in a small town in northern Michigan with my then young daughter and now ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
He just bought an A-frame style house on 5 acres of land, which is a fuck ton of land. We raised a garden, chickens, and even had some pigs. We actually enjoyed our village life while working with a local music festival and insurance company too. We did work together at both companies. So this sounds like a nice lifestyle that you guys like had going for you. Things actually did not begin to happen until a year after living there when we were doing house and yard renovations. And I have to admit, I have always had issues with depression and insomnia. So some of the small things that began to happen, I believe, were due to that. It would mainly be hearing a woman call my name or movements I see out of the corner of my eye. My daughter, who was between 5 to 9 years old at that time, began to wake up screaming for me and saying she kept seeing a woman in her room, but I was interpreting that as nightmares. Thinking about my reaction to my daughter's fears today makes me feel like a terrible mother. You are not that. You're just being rational. Because I was not realizing my skepticism was possibly causing future PTSD in my child, especially if she did see this woman.
Oh my gosh,
I don't think it's ever a bad thing to try and tell your child, like, it's okay, the monster's not actually under the bed. And it's just a natural reaction for a parent to not, I'm not saying be skeptical, but be rational about the situation to calm your kid down. That is, I mean, you're not a bad mom by any means.
No. And it's hard because sometimes you're like, I don't want to believe it because I'll freak out.
Right.
And it's just...
you panicking in front of your kid is probably the worst thing you could possibly do. Like, there's ghosts in the house, and you just fucking run out of there and set the house on fire. Like, that's not going to help anything. We've all seen Hill House. That doesn't help. So
Oh my gosh. Okay.
things began to progress where I began having strange dreams, and these dreams had the same woman in it. One dream in particular was so frightening I woke up screaming in bed, and my partner did have to spend half an hour consoling me.
Wow.
The dream was at a pool in a luxury hotel, and I was having cocktails with friends at the shallow edge of the pool. That's starting out really nice, actually. That sounds like a fun
Okay.
dream.
But something bad's going to happen. You already know.
In the deep, well, I mean, it's a nightmare she woke up screaming from, so yeah, you do know. In the deep end, I kept seeing this woman's head pop up, staring at me with anger, then going under the water again.
Okay.
Immediately, I would get out of that fucking
my God,
pool.
Yeah, no. Because you know they travel a million times faster under the water.
It's just like in Friday the 13th. She did this a few times while moving closer and closer to our end of the pool.
No.
It stopped for a minute until I felt hands grab my legs and pull me under the water.
Oh, man. Okay.
With my eyes wide open, I was staring at this woman who was now grabbing me by the shoulders and shaking me frantically and yelling something to me I could not understand.
Holy crap.
Because all I could see were bubbles coming out of her mouth. She was absolutely terrified, and I was too. I have had many dreams with her in it, with some just being weird, but this was the most terrifying.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Shortly after those dreams started, my boyfriend began hearing voices, thinking it was me calling to him when I wasn't.
No, I can't. I don't want to listen anymore.
Take your hands off your ears. You have to experience this.
Okay.
He was a pothead, so he scratched it off thinking it was what he smoked.
Okay.
That happens. Like, if you're going to be a fucking pothead, you have to think, like, I got a hold of some bad weed. You know? It's like, that's just what's going to go through your head. Another night, we both heard screaming and thought it sounded like a woman. My boyfriend said it was probably a bobcat calling out for its young. I began feeling cold spots and grew very anxious as I constantly felt like I was being watched or touched, and I developed depression when I had been depression-free and off my antidepressants for 5 years.
Holy cow.
I thought I was losing my mind until one day my boyfriend came up to me and said, "Were you crying last night? I thought I heard you crying outside in the chicken coop." Well, I was in the kitchen with a neighbor down the road having a glass of wine. It gets even better. Is this good? Is it going to get better? Because I'm going to go ahead and be honest.
Scared. Oh, that's so long.
Yeah, it's very long.
It's so long.
One of the last things that happened to me was one evening in the dead of winter, which is a good board game, by the way. Dead of Winter, check it out. Sponsored by Dead of Winter. Not really.
No, please sponsor us, though.
That'd be awesome. It's a fun board game. It's basically zombies and stuff. So let me get back to this email. We were in bed, and I was staring at the ceiling as it was a clear night and full moon, with the moonlight showing off the branches of the tree by our house. I noticed something similar to it appear on the ceiling as well, but on the other side, as if it were a silhouette of a woman. I didn't really pay much attention until I saw it move. It was slowly moving across the ceiling until it was above me, and then in seconds, it disappeared. I was scared shitless, waking up my boyfriend and explaining what had happened. He was obviously irritated and told me to go back to sleep. I did eventually, but a short time later, the both of us were woken to a woman yelling. But I was so scared, in all caps.
I'm so scared too.
In our room.
I'm scared now, and it's not even me.
How can he rule that out when we both heard it? And here's the kicker. The insurance company I worked for just added a satellite office in a town near our house, and I would work there 3 times a week. We were using a marketing strategy where we would look up the population and demographics of people in surrounding counties to gain access to new clients. This was my job to do this on Fridays, so I would do a lot of research on the web, looking at the surrounding counties' websites to access this information along with statistics. I just know where this is going. One day I was looking at our county and clicked a few links where one had cold cases.
Oh, why?
I have no idea how I got to that website as I was too deep into my marketing research, but I clicked on it. As I scrolled down, I recognized a face of a woman.
Shut up.
When I realized who she was, I ran to the bathroom and vomited. That's just straight up fear. Like, if you puke because you're so scared, that's really fucking scary. Turns out the woman had been missing since May of 1979. She was also pregnant with her married boyfriend's second child as well, and had a son and daughter. The boyfriend said around the date she went missing, he took her to the airport in Big Rapids, Michigan, to board a plane to Chicago, which was the famous Flight 91 that crashed and killed 271 on May 25th, 1979.
Oh my goodness.
An investigator found out she never boarded that plane or had a ticket in her name. Then around 2004, after years of physical and mental abuse, The man's wife confessed to police, saying he killed the pregnant woman and buried her body in the woods in the village we lived in.
Oh my gosh.
He was sentenced to prison. I have fucking cold chills everywhere. He was sentenced to prison for the crime, even though her body was never found. He eventually died in prison. I tried finding information on this woman's daughter and son. From what I found, the son died in prison, and the daughter may have died from cancer, but I could be wrong. If this is true, it is a sad ending, but hopefully the mother and siblings are together again on the other side. It took me a long time to get over this. Part of me also feels bad, as I feel she was trying to reach out to me, and I was just really frightened. My daughter vaguely remembers it as well and isn't suffering from PTSD. That's good to know.
That's really good.
And I am very thankful for it, for that, as she is not even scared of the dark. If anyone interested in the case, if anyone is interested in the case, I attached some links you can share. I have other scary stories, but nothing as scary as this. Amy. Wow.
That's really good.
That was really good.
And just so mind-blowing.
I'm going to need to look into this case, too. The links are here, and I'm going to dive into that. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a follow-up on episode 52 as well, because I need to know more about this case, because it is so shitty to have a tragedy happen where a bunch of people die in a plane crash and then be like, yup, my girlfriend was on that plane. My wife was on that plane because you murdered them. Like, that's just so fucking horrific. That's just a tragedy that other people are having to deal with, that you're pretending that you have to deal with because you're just a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
Wow, that is super creepy. Wow, I don't understand why you didn't get out of that pool in that dream, bro.
Yeah.
Like, get out as soon as you see something like malevolent.
Yourself. Like, I had a nightmare about spiders last night, I think, and
yes,
I woke
that's what
up
I was told.
Freaked out because it was just like I had tarantulas all over my body. Like, it was super scary because I am not the biggest fan of spiders, but I was trying my hardest to be really nice to them and like trying to get them to like walk off my hands. And then the more I was nice to them and getting them off of me, more showed up, and I'm trying to get out of bed and there's just tarantulas like, oh, and they're big too. They were like this big. It was
this big is like if you took your hand and made a circle with it, like a full circle. That's what you just did.
It was like a big, like bowling ball size spiders, man.
That's enormous.
It was scary. Oh my goodness. Just ugh.
Yep, I would shake like a dog and get all those goddamn spiders off me. I'm not being polite to any spiders. I know a lot of our fans like spiders. That is totally okay. I would not hurt a spider, but there's no fucking way I'd let it stay on me if I didn't want it there, because that is just terrifying. So, all right, let's look over into Stream Chat and see what you guys made from that one, because that one was super intense.
Lots of nopes. Like, fuck that. Let's see. McShake and Bake says they just want to be your friend. J.B. Watt, all them free hugs. Making jokes about it being good weed.
That's funny. Maybe it was just good weed. Was it that dank kush? Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Jamie says, I have a snack drawer. That's hilarious.
Snack drawers are the best. I would have a snack drawer if I had room in my drawers.
That's funny.
They're crammed full of clothes.
Whoa.
Dude! Stop it. Stop it right now.
You are
Connor.
So extraordinarily generous. Shout out to McShake and Bake, who just donated $189, bringing us up to 100% of our November donation goal. Like, we even talked about it before the show. We weren't even going to bring it up because we understand, like, it's hard for people to donate around this time because it's, like, super expensive for Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Connor, thank you so much. We truly appreciate it. That's amazing.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
I'm
thank
dying.
you so much.
What the fuck?
All right. Oh, my God. I have to read the stream chat. I'll say thank you like 6 or 7 more times, I'm sure, randomly throughout it. We're not shaking our heads because we're upset. We're shaking our heads because we can't believe how nice you are. And thank you so much.
You're
we really
so
do appreciate
ridiculously nice to us all the time. And all I can do is, like, buy you random things that I think you might like or you might use.
That magnet that had the bottle opener on the back of it, though, that was a perfect buy. That really was. It was really good. You curated that perfectly.
I was shopping at the World of Disney, and I was just like, I want to get like something really cool so that you guys could like be a part of our trip. And I was just like, bottle opener that has fucking Mickey on it. It's the greatest thing.
That's funny.
But oh my God, thank you so much. Like, oh my gosh.
I'm looking over into YouTube chat, and I see Alexander says, I was a Ravenclaw, but then I got sick, so now I'm a Hufflepuff, but I'm proud. That's weird. I didn't know that you could shift your houses. I'm still very bitter about moving out of the Gryffindor from like all the placements I did before and being told I'm a Ravenclaw by the official test like 3 separate times. I'd probably be a Death Eater if I could. Let's keep on going.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, my heart's like racing.
From the story or from the donation?
From both, one on top of the other.
It's a lot. You guys are going to kill Robin. Swampy Boy says, I'm actually not a slut. I actually avoid other people, LOL. That's okay. We understood it was a joke. Karen says, I feel kind of bad for Gryffindor because all the scrappy stuff happens to them. Same with Slytherin because they're also stereotyped about being evil. That is very true. Like, you get into Slytherin, they're like, you're a piece of shit. And you're like an 8-year-old kid? How young are you when your letter from Hogwarts comes?
10.
10? So you're 10 years old, you get there, you get sorted into Slytherin, and after that everyone like, oh, you're a conniving little asshole. So that sucks. I think the Sorting Hat like looks at people always like, yeah, you're a conniving little asshole, you're Slytherin. So enjoy that, Malfoy.
Wow.
He didn't even touch Malfoy's fucking head. He's slowly getting lowered, and he's like, piece of crap, next. Like, we don't need to know anything about this one.
Oh, you're 11? Already says you're 11 when you get it.
11. Okay, good to know. I've never read the books. I've only seen the movies, saving those for a time where I have a ton of free time. I don't know, maybe like being unemployed, but where I could just sit down and just binge a bunch of books. So
I've been binging a bunch of books.
She really has.
I've discovered Kindle Unlimited, and it's the greatest thing. All right. McShake and Bake says, isn't Hufflepuff already an STI? I don't know. A lot of people are Hufflepuff, and it just might be.
It's so weird they changed it to STI. It's always been STD.
I remember when they changed it to STI, and that was the car that my ex really wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, all right.
It's appropriate.
You have that STI.
Swampy Boy over on YouTube says, Hufflepuffs are just high gardeners that talk to a lot of random objects. That's funny.
I could totally see that.
Erica says, I miss Michigan, a.k.a. my birth home.
Aw.
Alexander says, what are the chances of 2 people from the same small town in Western Australia watching this same live chat?
Aw.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
That's really cool. I am mind blown that Sam is coming out here.
I know. Sam from Isle of Man, who was like our first fan, is coming out to Reno, which is only like 4, 5, 6 hours away.
6 hours away.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know. I'm excited to get to meet a lot of you guys.
We want to meet all of you folks because you guys are so awesome. Clearly, we were reading the story and the plot was starting to twist a little bit here.
Because you just see
fuck. Swampy Boy over on YouTube says, fuck that pool. Itzy says, that's so terrifying. Oh my God. Why would you stay in there? Erica says, Jason's mom. Curious face. Good point. Didn't even think of that. So I'm going to keep scrolling. Erica says, that's beyond terrifying. And McShake and Bake said, I don't want it to get better. That's so funny. All right, I'll let you do the Twitch stuff because I'm starting to cross over into your territory.
The Snark says that Slytherins aren't evil. They just have ambition and aren't afraid to knock you out of their way. I think Hufflepuffs are kind of like hippies, but like Newt Scamander is a Hufflepuff.
Is he?
Yes, he's a Hufflepuff.
I love Newt Scamander's character because he's so like awkward but charming at the same time.
Yeah.
So I love the way that Eddie Redmayne runs as Newt Scamander because it's like a shuffle, like a nervous shuffle. We saw the newest Fantastic Beasts.
Not as good.
It wasn't that good.
No.
I will say this, like
Jude Law though.
Okay, when the fuck did Dumbledore decide to start wearing robes? Like he's wearing this 3-piece suit, and I'm watching. I'm like, look, I'm straight. I know my orientation. I stay in my lane. But I would fuck Jude Law. Like he looks good in this movie. He looked really fucking good. And I'm just like, he decided to toss on robes like 20, like I think it's 19 years later is the flashback when he sees Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking old as shit and wearing robes. Someone posted the meme where it showed like Jude Law and then Dumbledore 19 years later. And it's like, what the fuck happened to Dumbledore after 19 years? And all these teachers posted like, teaching happened for 19 years. That's what. It's like, oh, that's so sad. I love that
little kid. Okay, spoilers about this movie.
Really quickly, Jude Law, hit me up. I'll be your nanny.
What?
He fucked his nanny? You don't remember that?
What?
It almost ruined his career, yeah.
Shut up.
He had an affair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and his wife left him. Career. I mean, he came back around eventually. So.
Yeah.
I was shocked that happened, too, because so many people have, like, just, like, infidelities and nothing happens to their career, and then Jude Law's career almost ended because of that. It's crazy.
Everyone's like, yeah, Jude Law.
He looks good in that movie, man. Like, I saw that, and I'm like, I need to lose weight so I can get that 3-piece suit.
Jamie says he doesn't want to bring all the girls to the yard.
That's so funny.
He needed robes to hide the junk in the trunk.
That's fucking great.
Okay, I don't know how we started talking about Harry Potter.
It was my fault. Okay, Karen over in YouTube says, which do you think would be scarier, hearing a noise and something creepy being there, or hearing something but there's nothing there? Both sound scary to me. In my humble opinion, something being there is scarier, because if there's nothing there, you can convince yourself, like, oh, it must have been the wind or the house settling or all the other things we tell ourselves when demons skitter by and we don't see them.
When I was a little kid in my house, the one I already talked to you guys about earlier in the episode, it was a two-story house. And when I was a kid, I didn't understand that you could hear everything from downstairs, because we lived upstairs and we could hear everything from downstairs. So they would scrape their chairs across the floor, and I didn't realize that was coming from downstairs. So I'd be like, what the fuck is going on in the kitchen? I would freak out.
You don't understand how sound travels when you're a kid sometimes. Like, I remember the first time I slept downstairs in our house when I was 7, and it was like we had a sleepover with my cousins and the furnace kicked on downstairs. And I thought for sure there was some giant monster coming up those stairs to murder me. And no one else woke up because they were old enough to know what it was. And I was just so terrified. Erica over in YouTube says, both are scary, but definitely beyond scary seeing them, I think. Yeah, if you see it, then you know you can't convince yourself otherwise. That's just terrifying. And then Erica gave a shout out to Grand Rapids.
All right. So
Karen says, I'm fine with spiders as long as they're not on me. If they're in the corner of a room, I'm chill. Spiders kill bugs, and I hate having bugs in my house, so I try and not disrupt them if they're there. If they're somewhere where I'm going to sleep, then I'm like, God damn it. Like, now I have to get rid of this thing.
I have a fear of them crawling into my ears. So I have a fear of bugs getting into my ears. I know it's a weird fear, and it probably doesn't happen very often.
Straightforward fear.
But I've watched videos where a spider crawls out of people's ears, or they try to get it to crawl out of their ears. Ugh! It just freaks me out. No. No.
You're just getting yourself all messed up.
Yeah. Giving myself anxiety thinking about it, like I have to put in earplugs tonight.
That's so funny. There's a lot of discussion here about the houses at the bottom for Twitch. Itzy says Jude Law with a heart. Oh, he's just so good looking. What about like knocking on the door but nothing there, or scratching? If I heard knocking on the door and nothing was there, I would assume it's kids messing with me.
If
the
I
scratching
heard
thing, rats or animals in the walls or on the door, something. I would immediately think it was an animal. I usually have these rational things that I jump to before I assume that there's like a monster there. And that's mainly because I've had a fucking raccoon that came into my attic in the winter back home in Chicago. And I was just like, he is literally trying to not freeze to death, so that's okay. And he would not stop scratching, and then he found his way into my walls. And I was like, I'm not going to put out poison, but I'm going to go into that attic, and if I catch that asshole, I'm going to punch him in the face. I never found him. I just wound up naming him Rocky, because that's my favorite Beatles song.
Thank you for joining us, Alex. Wait, Alex? Yeah. Yes. I can barely read. I don't have my glasses on. Thank you for joining us.
Wall Weasel says,
what do we want to do for the reward for this month?
We didn't even think of it. We didn't offer a reward for November because we didn't think we were going to get there. And we didn't think of it at the beginning of the month because we were like, oh, well, we'll just toss it up there and we'll see what happens. Maybe we could do the favorite script thing again. Like whatever your favorite episode is of the regular topic episodes, we'll print out the script, we'll sign it, we'll send it to you guys. And we can pick that based off of a Marbles on Stream.
Well,
we're spitballing here right now to figure out what we're going to do.
I figured it would be all the people who donated.
I mean, that makes sense. There's 3.
Oh, there's only 3?
Yeah, there's, let me just go back through really fast. Connor obviously donated. And who are the other 2 that donated? If you could vamp a little bit, that'd be great.
Oh, sorry. I'm like trying to read.
Swazzles donated as well.
Getting used to having a nocturnal animal was weird. Hedgehogs running all night long. Our friend has a hedgehog, and at night when we're hanging out, you just hear the little wheel just going.
Yeah.
It's so cute, though. I love to carry him around all day.
He's very cute. And Ron Santa Maria also donated. Ron Santa Maria donated 100 bits, which is $1.
Okay.
So it's, I don't know. We have to figure something out. But I am going to start getting this ready for Marbles on Stream, so you keep going, and then I'll get that going.
Okay. Mothboy Real Estate asks, heavy banging on your door or a shadow in the crack under your door?
Heavy banging.
I'd
Could
rather
be a human.
do the heavy banging.
Could be a human, and they're still outside. If it's a shadow, it's either a ghost or an intruder.
Well, a shadow in the crack under your door. Like, you see the shadow of the person on the other side. I'd rather not see a shadow, because then that means there's not another person on the other side of that door.
And what if they say hello from the other side? Yep, I went there. Fucking nailed it. Pretty proud of myself.
Let's just do this first Marbles on Stream.
Normal stuff.
No. Will be for meeting the goal. so it'll be the script thing. And then the second one will be for the sticker for this week.
Well, what I figure is since we got there and Connor donated a significant portion, which we all know, that'll activate something special, like you just said, for everyone that joins in. And then we'll do the normal one after that, and then let's just send Connor something special in his kitty box.
Cool.
I think that sounds right. So, cool. Miss Deezy cheered for $5. Thank you so much, Miss Deezy.
Thank you so much.
That.
I love all the little things that fall into the cup. That looks so
I know.
cool.
It's so much fun. I like that they get to choose what they look like, too.
Yeah.
Would you rather deal with a bored poltergeist or a lazy demon? That's a really good one, That's a really good one. I'm going to go with poltergeists because I think demons just generally hate human beings. Poltergeists, if they're bored, I don't think they'd be super vicious about it. They'd just be messing with it. I think like people have dealt with lazy poltergeists before, or bored poltergeists before, where it's like, oh yeah, that's just so-and-so. He likes to knock on the walls all the time. But they're just like, yeah, whatever.
But a lazy demon wouldn't go out of its way to scare you and fuck with your mind.
I think it would still possess you, though, and just give you mood swings.
Mm.
So for those of you who would like to vote on what track we're going to go to, !vote. We're still looking at us. Let me switch that really fast. Cool, there we go. So for those of you who would like to vote on what track we're going to race, do !vote and then the number of the track. You don't have to do the number sign. And for those of you over on YouTube that would like to join in, you will have to switch over to Twitch right now, and then we'll go from there. But let's just get some votes on what track we're going to race before we move forward with that. I cannot believe you donated that much money, Connor. Thank you so much.
I'm just so mind blown right now. I'm like,
how do we approach this? Should we keep talking about it? We want to be grateful.
Oh my gosh.
We appreciate everything that you guys pitch into. Thank you, Miss Deezy, for donating. Just across the board, you guys are amazing and fantastic.
Yeah,
and we love
all of you guys, even the ones just watching and being here and supporting us is great. Every one of you
looking
guys
in the bottom
so
corner,
important.
like during the show, which I do way too often, to see what the number are for viewers on YouTube and Twitch. It's so rewarding to see that people actually come out to watch us record this. It really is. Like, I still can't believe you guys come and watch us. So it's super nice. I don't know, every single one of you that supports us, you guys are amazing, and we appreciate it. And we have 7 votes in total so far for tracks, and it looks like right now Shattered Dreams is number 1, but it might be tied with something. I'm going to let that keep auto-scrolling. The Laboratory is tied.
It'll tell you when it's a tie.
Oh, down by viewers' vote. Right on. I haven't been paying attention to that. Good to know. Shattered Dreams is viewers' vote again.
So should we just do that one?
Fear of Heights is number 3. I'm going to wait just a little bit longer before we go with Shattered Dreams. But right now, Shattered Dreams, I believe, has 4 votes. And it's just scrolling away. We have 9 total votes right now. Once it gets down to the bottom of the list again, I will click viewers vote and we'll go with that.
Okay. Sounds Gouda.
She uses that all the time in real life, literally constantly. Looks like it's going to be Shattered Dreams.
Is it wrong to be cheesy?
It's terrible. Hate your face. Shattered Dreams' average time is 2 minutes and 14 seconds, so it will be rather quick. The record time is 1 minute and 16 seconds. I don't think we've ever run it, but we're about to, people. Nope. Doesn't look familiar, does it?
No, it looks like a bunch of sticks.
It looks like a lot of people are going to die. Let's be honest with this one.
Let us hope not.
All right, so !play to get yourself a marble, and then once everyone has joined in, we are going to start this thing up. Are you going to join in like you normally do?
Oh, yeah. !play, right?
Yep. Chessie Cat, Miss Deezy, Jangmi has joined in. JB Watt, the Snarked, Keb,
So, !play, everybody.
McShake and Bake, Glitch, Ulri, Akasuna. We have 11 people. I'm not going to join in this time.
What? Why not?
I mean, I guess I could. My phone is almost dead, though, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Gil6 over in YouTube. It's not going to work. It will not work through YouTube. You'd have to switch to twitch.tv/ScaryPodcast.
Yeah.
If you're going to switch over, we will give you a second to switch over so you can join in.
Yeah, I'm glad you think it's never wrong to be cheesy, because I'm super cheesy all the time.
I'm super cheesy, too.
I make stupid jokes constantly. I don't know how else to live my life.
Alice is in, Butter and Bud. It's an orange tree, or Itsy Orange Tree is there. Karen says, hey, bro. Hey, what's up?
What up?
One of us. Waiting on Gil6 to see if they're going to switch over to Twitch. If not, no big deal. We'll just get started. I don't know what time it is or if we've run long or if this episode's going short. I think it's right about where we're normally at, though. So we got a little bit of time. We got 14 people joined in.
Cheetos are so good, dude. I love hot Cheetos fries are my fave, but I don't like puff Cheetos as much.
I like puff Cheetos because you can like leave them on your tongue and press them against the roof of your mouth, and they slowly start to collapse. and I enjoy that. So I'm a weird guy. Karen over on YouTube says, it's never wrong to be cheesy, Robin. Never wrong.
Oh, cool. Silverbid Sit is Gil 6 from YouTube.
All right. So
exclamation point play. Yay.
I'm looking down. I don't see it's in yet. I don't see. Oh, they said exclamation point play, though.
I wonder, can you add people in there manually?
I can search to see. Silver. No, it doesn't look like Silver's in yet.
Try exclamation point play again and see if it'll work. Oh my gosh, more bits. Thank you so much, Miss Deezy.
We appreciate you guys so much. I don't want to start because Gil switched over and it hasn't added him in yet, which is just super annoying. So do exclamation point play one more time. We'll see if we can get you into this thing.
Nikki and I nod in unison about compressing puffy Cheetos.
Thank you. I feel weird when I say stuff and no one's like, yeah, me too. There we go. Silver is in. Good to see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Anyone? Good night, Karen. Thank you for joining us over on YouTube. We appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and click start. Anyone who has not joined in, you have 10 seconds from now to join in. Click. There it goes. Seizure. Super seizure robots. McShake and Bake has a lead to start out with. We didn't do that. It just happened naturally. So, but they're aiming right at that fan blade, which seems to kind of helped.
I'm just like, my mind is reeling.
Itzy over there got smacked around, but somehow wound up taking the lead. And McShake and Bake, this is a pretty tight group right now. So Itzy's still in the lead, though. We're going to go to first place and trail from there. They hit the Mario Kart speed boost along with McShake and Bake. Everyone's splitting up right now. It's going to be hard to track where everyone's at. So we're just going to go with...
Oh,
Itzy has died. I can't believe that happened so fast.
That was really fast.
There's a lot of track left to go. There's an elevator. There's a bunch of other stuff. Wow. They were just in first place to like last place. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
From first to last.
Okay.
Have any of you guys ever heard the band From First to Last? That was like my high school music growing up.
I've not.
It is just okay. It had Sonny Moore in it, who is Skrillex,
really,
as the singer, and he sang for them because it was a screamo band, and he sang.
That's how he ruined his voice, right?
Yeah, and so he had to get surgery on his voice or his.
McShake and Bake
cords.
has been murdered by the fan blades.
That sucks.
Glitch Grim is now in first place due to default and is cruising through that gauntlet. Got a little bit caught up. J.B. Watts in second place. Alice in Wonderland. Miss Deezy just took the lead along with Alice in Wonderland.
We really need to get Glitch's stuff.
She is cruising through right now. We do.
Okay, I have a question about the design for this coming season's Patreon rewards.
Logo button.
Yeah, so I'm trying to decide between if I want to do.
Looks like Glitch Grim might take this
again.
Last second coming through. Oh my God, this is so close. Miss Deezy, Glitch Grim is going to take. Oh my God! Glitch Grim was murdered in the end. I cannot fucking believe that just happened. Alice in Wonderland finishes in first place. Robin Grace is second place. Glitch had it, and Glitch was murdered. That was insane. I have never seen one of those things do that before. This is why it's called Shattered Dreams. Now we all know. McShake and Bake says, what the hell in all caps. What the fuck? That was hilarious. Wow.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
What are the odds?
Congratulations, Alice. And Glitch Grim says hacks. Miss Deezy says rigged. That is just bizarre. It's so funny.
Alice, email storytime@scaryish.com with your mailing address, and then we'll get you a sticker or something.
Wasn't this going to be the one where we did the...
Oh, I don't know.
I thought that's what you said before the race.
You said all these things, and I just said, okay.
No, you repeated it. You laid it all out for us, and I reiterated it, and I said, okay, that sounds good.
But you changed it.
I really didn't. So I don't know if this one was the one we know we're gonna do scripts for both of them. How about that?
Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So let us know. We're gonna give you some. Let us know what your favorite episode of Scaryish was.
Yes.
That's not a Storytime episode. We will send you the script we used to record the show, and we will sign them for you. And I promise we'll send them. I know we have some prizes pending to go out. There's just been a lot of stuff. Robin's Etsy shop has been blowing the fuck up, by the way, so she's had to make a ton of orders. It's been very stressful, so some of the things are a little bit backlogged. You guys are going to get your prizes, though, we promise.
Yeah.
So send your information to, like she said, storytime@scaryish.com.
Yeah, I'm the one that packages everything up, so it just school and work and
It's a lot of stuff, but we value you guys very high. So we're going to do one more for the night, and this one will also be some stickers and the signed copy of your favorite episode script. So go ahead and vote for whatever track you'd like to do for the second one, and you can vote for whatever you want. I really enjoyed Shattered Dreams. I thought that was hilarious how it ended. I feel bad for Glitch. But congratulations, Alice, to winning that one. It was super fun. So cool.
Yep.
Go ahead and vote right now. Exclamation point and a number, which will be your choice for track. Jamie says, hire me, please.
I'll work for corn.
That's so funny. Honestly, like right now, my mother is still our production assistant who checks these emails.
Yeah. So. I really want to try that video someone posted. I wish I remember who posted it. But where the guy shoves like the barbecue stick through all that a single row of corn and pulls it all off and eats it that way. And I really want to try it, but I feel like it's not gonna work how you think it's gonna work. That it just looks too magical.
Too magical. You know what was too magical? Those videos of people putting the corn on the power drills and spinning it while they ate it. Because as soon as you saw one person with long hair do it and had their chunk of hair ripped out, I was just like, I can't watch these anymore. That just looks too painful. Yeah. Like it happened to a girl, and like
it fucks up your mouth.
Yeah, it'll fuck up your teeth too. It's like, okay, I get it. It looked funny on one video. Please don't try it.
Don't try it.
Swampy Boy says, bye, spoopy friends. I'm off to find cheese and sleep. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so
much. We
much.
appreciate you. I was just typing that, says Miss Deezy. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. Dude lost teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate watching it.
Didn't he knock out like all his front teeth and shit?
Yeah, it was very painful to watch.
Ooh, no.
Cosmic Chaos looks like it's in the lead with 5 votes. I didn't let it scroll, so that's on me. But that's okay. Cosmic Chaos is fun. I think we might have done that one before. My dreams were crushed at McShake and Bake. LOL. I don't know. This thing is so much fun. I like finishing the streams with it. I love watching it. I'm so glad that you guys love participating in it.
Let's just settle on Cosmic Chaos.
Cosmic Chaos looks good. It has half the votes, so I'm going to go with Cosmic Chaos, the viewers vote. We have not done this one before. It looks gorgeous. I really like this. Once it's loaded up, cool, right there. Go ahead and type exclamation point play to join in.
I'll be first. Yes, I'm first. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I make myself raff.
You do, but you make other people raff all the time.
Have you heard that if you raff, you ruse?
McShake and Bake did exclamation point win. I wonder if it's that easy to cheat the system.
That would be great.
I want to kick you so bad. I just realized that I can. The power. No, I won't. I won't this time. We have 14 people in, 15 people in. We'll let you guys join for a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and click start. Exclamation point cheat, says Jamie.
Oh my god. So my friend was saying, okay, no, I have to go back to the Patreon question. Would you rather have a wreath as part of the design, or would you rather have like snowman type thing or something
I think
else?
A snowman, I'm not going to.
Or like a snow globe
It's
type
up to you
design.
folks how you want to do it. You could also ask the patrons, like on Patreon.
I do want to ask the patrons.
I like the idea of the logo being turned into a snowman. I think it would look really, really funny.
I'm trying to decide right now because I have a bunch of designs sketched out, and I'm not sure.
Glitch Grim did exclamation point lay, which, like I said, is a different game. Jamie did exclamation point hack. Glitch did exclamation point aimbot. I'm glad to see that you guys are getting creative. Jamie says the Grinch. JB Watt says snow globe. Chessy Cat says snowman. Lots of
Connor
feedback.
says if you abuse the power, you'll become that which you vowed to destroy, or some
shit. That's hilarious. With great power comes great responsibility to kick people. Okay, we have 15. Bless you. We're going to go ahead and start. Anyone who has not joined in, you have 10 seconds from now to join in by typing exclamation point play super seizure robots really fast. And I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen so we can see everyone. The funnel ones are very difficult to track because it's hard to tell who's in first place as everyone goes round and round and round. So we're going to sit here and watch this.
They go right round, baby, right round.
They
like
spin
a record,
me
baby.
right round, baby, right round. All right, so now I'm going to go into the number 1 so we can watch this happen in real time. The Robin Grace is on fire.
That girl is on fire.
We have done this before. The local record is by Jang Mi. She finished in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So you're not just racing to win. You're racing to steal the record away from Jang Mi. And it's really hard to tell who's in the lead here. Hopefully people don't get motion sick. Whoever gets through this hole first is going to have a distinct advantage. And it looks like McShake and Bake did, and I didn't even realize it. But now he's being slowed down by like every single thing.
At least he's not getting launched. Like,
yeah, here comes the pack. Akasuna's in first place. The Robin Grace shouldn't even be there. She's in second place. We're going through this loop-de-loop. Everyone survived it. Another loop-de-loop. You died. The Robin Grace has been murdered.
Murdered.
Akasuna is just really in the lead right now.
Oh, man, I just watched my ball fly off the world.
Wow, this is the longest stop I've seen. The Snark just decided he's taking a different way through this track and said, fuck all that shit, and is now in first place. That was impressive. That was some Matt shit. Matt wouldn't follow these rules. Now we're going to some back-to-back loop-de-loops yet again. And the Snark has died from the loop-de-loops.
Those loop-de-loops are bullshit.
They're vicious. Jangmi's local ball, it looks like her record is going to hold up. Its Eye Orange Tree is trying to make it through these loop-de-loops without being launched off the edge of the world. It looks like it's working out. Akasuna is in second place, pretty far behind. So as long as Its Eye Orange Tree, I don't know how to say your name. Please let me know.
Itzy?
I'm just going to go with Itzy. Glitchgrim has been eliminated again. Itzy looks like they're going to maintain first place. They're just chasing down the record, which it doesn't look like they're going to get. Jangmi's going to stand for at least one more week.
It's funny because she said,
"Here comes
come at me,
Jangmi."
sucker, at the beginning.
This is Jangmi's track. Like, she's running this really well.
Wow.
There she goes. She's taking
This
first
got-
place.
Oh, my goodness.
Itzy's still struggling to make it through there. There isn't a lot of track left, but there is one more swirly-do. I don't know what to call that. Funnel. It's called a funnel. I'm dumb. Thank you, people.
What?
All right, now we are in the funnel. The slow speed might actually help whoever shows up next, which is Itzy, which is probably wrong. Yes, Itzy. That's what they said. Okay, cool. This is just
Oh, no!
a nightmare.
I
Oh,
can't
no.
watch it. I can't. Oh.
Itzy passed right through, heading towards the end. Jangmi got caught up. Akasuna's on the
gosh.
way. Jangmi has died. Apologies, Jangmi. R.I.P. And it looks like Itzy... Ooh, Itzy made it. Itzy's in first place. Congratulations, Itzy. That was a
Jangmi's
hard
on the
fought.
edge.
What?
Oh, no, that's the ghost ball. Okay,
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? Congratulations, Itzy. Email storytime@scarish.com. Let us know where we can mail you some goodies. And let us know what your favorite episode of Scarish is, and we're going to send you the script that we used to record that. Hopefully it doesn't overlap with anyone else's favorite episode. If it does, we will figure something out, and we will let you know. So, awesome. Let's let all these finish out. Only JB Watt and Butter and Butt are left, and they haven't died yet. Butter and Butt just died, and JB Watt finished. This one was brutal. A lot of people died in this one.
Oh, my God, I just got an idea. I know what I'm going to do for Connor. Ha.
Okay, good. Don't spoil it. Let
Okay.
it be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise. I literally, it just popped into my head.
Is it perfect?
I don't know if it'll be perfect, but hopefully it's enjoyable.
Cool. That sounds good.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this thing. You can talk a little bit before we do the outro, and then we'll just go into the outro.
All right.
Talk to the people.
Okay. I think it's funny that Jangmi's record is still upheld.
It's true.
You know, she did say come at her, and nothing happened.
It held up. And this is going to encourage people later on to keep wanting to race the same tracks to try and break records, which is really fun because we've gone through a lot of these tracks so far. So at Scarish Podcast, read my last dono, absolutely.
Oh, I'll scroll up and I'll find it. I can do it.
I have it right here.
Oh.
Miss Daisy says, don't forget, chat, if you have Amazon Prime, you have a free sub per month. Hint, hint, hashtag sellout. Realistically, if you have Amazon Prime, once per month, you can give $5, which is what it costs to subscribe, for free to any channel on Twitch, because Twitch is owned by Amazon. And you just go to click subscribe, and it says subscribe with Amazon Prime. You click that. You are subscribed to our channel, which helps us out. It costs you $0. You can do it once a month. And if you don't do it, that money just goes to waste. Like, legitimately, it's $5 that Amazon gives you to spend on something that you can give whoever you'd like to support. Please let it be us. And if you don't do it, then it just goes away. So just don't leave that money on the table. And if you have another streamer that you really like, you can donate it to them. I donate mine to other streamers sometimes too.
Mine to my friend Feedback, who is super awesome at streaming Battlefield 5 right now.
He's very good at Battlefield 5. It was very fun to watch.
But yeah, so definitely use your Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime.
It's both of
that
them.
you got available.
Yep.
So.
If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. So thank you to everyone who watched tonight on YouTube and on Amazon. And thank you to everyone who listened to this episode when it released to the audio version. And we hope that sometime you'll come join us for the live episodes.
Yeah.
They're Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then after the first of the year, we'll probably have a new schedule coming out soon.
Yes, because I have a new school schedule. So
Exactly. But that's about it for the show. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to send us your homegrown horrors, email storytime@scarish.com. You can also go to facebook.com/scarishpodcast and send us a message there. Join the Scarish Spooky Friends group and post there if you want some instant feedback. You can also go to scarish.com. Scroll down, and on the right-hand side, you'll see something that says, join us on Discord. Click that if you want to join us on Discord. At Scarish Podcast is where you can find us on Instagram. So many of you have done so. We posted some incredibly cute videos of our doggos, picture of our corgi, and a video of our adorable Shiba getting into play mode at like 8 a.m. Or you can tweet at us at ScarishPod. And definitely send us your pictures of your omen babies.
yes,
We still get those
We've
a lot.
gotten
We want
so many in the Discord recently.
We
It's
have,
awesome.
and we
I
definitely
should
wanna
post
see
them
them.
on Instagram, but there are just so many.
There
It's
really
hard.
are. We will figure it out, though. Do not worry, folks.
And then don't forget that we do have a Patreon, and we're coming up on the new season where I design, apparently it's probably going to be a snow globe design of the new Scariest logo for the new badges. And then in the future, I'm going to try and do acrylic charms as well. But it's coming up on the season in December. I'm going to actually mail out the sticker and little badge for this season. So if you're tier 10, the $10 tier, Badge of Honor tier and up, you're going to get the new Chug Some Corn sticker I designed. And then whatever the winter design comes out to be. So
for those of you who've never joined us live on an episode, there was a side conversation when we were reading an email about corn where some of our Australian listeners were asking, like, well, okay, I don't get the corn thing from America. We were describing it, and we were donated a bunch of money.
Connor asked us how much corn I could eat, and I was like, I could chug some corn, because I fucking love corn.
And that's where that came from.
And that's where that came from. And so I designed some stickers, and those are gonna go out with this season's Badge of Honor tiers and up. So if you want to help support us, go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast, and that would be awesome. I package everything and I design everything myself, so it really helps us out a lot.
It really does.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to do one-time donations, you can do them on the stream. We do get a lot on the stream, but you can also do it when we're not streaming. If you go to ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast, one-time donations there. Most of the donations at this point are all going towards upgrading the studio, and we're almost there. We hit Black Friday, and the camera that we were looking to purchase actually had a discount on it, and then we found out that you can't take off the graphic user interface or whatever you want to call it when you stream it, so you'd have to see like our battery level and all that other stuff. So we have to find another one that's probably going to be more expensive, but that is okay. We are getting there because of you folks that donate to us, and we appreciate you so much. And for anyone who wants to support us but doesn't have the money to donate, because we totally understand times are tight, you can go over to iTunes and drop us a review. So many of you have done that, and we appreciate all that feedback, and it really does help out podcasts. So thank you to everyone who's done that, and anyone's thinking about doing it, just pop over there really fast. If you don't want to search for it, you can go to scarish.com, and at the top of that page, there's something that says rate us on iTunes, and there's a link straight to it. So that's a nice, easy way to do that too. So I think that's just about everything that we have for this episode of Scarish. So thank you folks that listened. Thanks you folks that tuned in.
Thank you so much for joining us and being great and amazing and so ridiculously supportive and helping us make this happen. We really could not do it without all of you guys. And seriously, Connor, you are absolutely amazing, and we could not do it without you. It's awesome. So
go ahead and give us a sign out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.